Oh, I haven't got the lights on. Oh, hang on, everyone. Let me just put my lights on. Good morning, good morning, good morning. I do hope everybody is well. What colour shall we do today? Should we just do green? I like the green. Oh, and then switching that one on and putting that one onto green as well. There we go. Good morning, everyone. I do hope you are all well. On this fabulous Thursday morning, we've got one person in the live chat. Good morning. It is 11 o'clock. It's 11:02, in fact. Let me just double check on my phone. I think the notifications might be going out as we speak. I don't know. Have the notifications gone out? Normally it's about the first 4 minutes before people sort of start trickling in because of the way that the notifications work on YouTube. Let me just have a look on my phone and see whether that's gone up. I don't know whether it has or not. Good morning. We've got 2 in the live chat now. Good morning, good morning, good morning. I don't know if people have received the notifications or not. We've got 4 thumbs up, so that's a good one. So people are liking it, even though there's now 3 in. So I think it's taken a while for the notifications to go out this morning. So I will grab a little bit of my coffee while we're waiting for people to join us. How is everyone? How is everyone? There's like 3 people in the chat, so 3 people here live watching. I do hope people are well. All 3 of you. It's about quality, not quantity, isn't it? We do this regardless of how many people are watching. If we get sort of 20 in the live, then that's great. If we get 3 or 4 in the live, then that's also great. My phone has just, oh no, that isn't. That's my calendar popping up telling me that the live stream is due. So I think we're still waiting for YouTube to send out the notifications to people. But hey ho, never mind. We've got 4 now in the live. So if you're here on the live, please do say hello in the live chat. I keep pointing over there because on my screen it's there, but I don't know where it is on yours. I don't know where it comes up. But yeah, so for me it comes up just here. So if you are here live, do please put a little comment just there. I'm going to crack on though today and get my face on. That's kind of an important bit. I have weighed in this morning, so I am now having my cup of coffee because, yeah, I don't weigh in until I've had my coffee. Hello, Gillian. Hi, my darling. How are you? Just saying, have you had your coffee, Gillian? Have you had your coffee this morning? Because mine is here. I've weighed in, but I haven't had my coffee yet because this is a giant mug. And I know that they say in Swimming World, oh, it doesn't matter when you weigh in and all that stuff. But if I've had this coffee, then all of this is going to be added to the weight. So I just make sure that I weigh in and then I'll drink my coffee. So we've now got six in the live. So it looks like notifications might be going out to people. But yes, good morning. I do hope you are well. Right then, I am loving my coffee. You've had 3 teas. Oh my God. What time did you get up then? I mean, I was up at like about 9 this morning, but we didn't go to bed till about 3 or 4. I don't know. I crashed out yesterday, so I didn't actually get dinner or anything. I said to Rufus, I'm just going to watch some YouTube in the bedroom because he was on the verge of crashing out. In fact, he did crash out. I went in the bedroom. He then poked his head around the door, and I said, "Oh, I'm just watching YouTube." And I was just watching a whole load of stuff, podcasts and things. And then the next thing I know, it was this morning. Good morning, Julie. Oh, thank you very much. I've weighed in, Julie. The results are there on that little blackboard, so I will show you them in a little bit during this live. How are you, Julie, my darling? I hope you are well. Yeah, so it's not been a horrendous week, but it's not been the best week, really, health-wise, for both of us. Rufus's breathing has been, it's weird because it seems to get a little bit better on a day, and then the next day he's like, he can barely stand, he can barely move. So it's literally, it kind of feels like some days he'll push himself because obviously you've got to still be mobile, you've got to still do things. But when he does that, he'll then get poorly. the next day. So it's a really, hang on, I'm just shoving a thing under the door because the door came open. So yeah, it's just a really weird thing that it's kind of, it's almost like we work on, day off, day on, day off kind of like process, which is a little bit strange, I guess. Well, not strange, but it's a little bit difficult to sort of manage everything. Right, let me just check. Yes, so the notifications have gone out now. So I do think people. Oh. Okay, now I can turn. How do I turn off? There we go. Just take that off YouTube. There we go. Hang on a second, everyone. Sorry, I was just making sure with my other phone that the notifications had gone out, and they have. So that's cool. Right, we've got the. I don't know who is here today. It keeps jumping. It said we were at 12 in the live, and it said we're at 9. So I don't know what's going on. It's jumping all over the place on my screen. But hello, good morning, and welcome to everybody who is joining me live. I'm going to do my face this morning. Now I have weighed in, so I do have my results, which are just there on that little board. So I will spin that around. Good morning, Anita. Good morning to Spanner. Hello, my darling. I do hope you are well, Anita. Thank you so much for being here today. I know Kirsty can't be here today, but yeah, thank you very much. I have put slow mode on. Yes. Is that causing an issue for you, or does it make it a little bit easier for you? Me and Kirsty had a phone call this morning. I know, right? On the phone and everything this morning. I'm not normally awake at this time. I'm normally just waking up. Yeah, I put slow mode on just so basically what it means is that people can only send a message every 30 seconds or so, and it just means that the live chat is a little bit more manageable, because I know that Anita is here today. So Anita, if you don't know, everybody has joined me from my other channel, which is called Authentic Beauty, and Anita is one of my spanners, we call them. She's one of my moderators from over there, so she's joining me here today. And normally I've got Kirsty as well, who's got her own channel called Making It Up. Now, Kirsty's also one of my moderators, and I moderate her live chat. So she does a live stream on a Friday evening called called the Friday Night Natter. And basically, I moderate for her, and Anita moderates for her as well. But Kirsty can't be here today, so Anita has mod duty, which is why I've whacked it onto slow mode, just in case we get any trolling, because we have had some trolling recently on some of the lives. So yeah, that's why I've done that. So hopefully that helps me. Anyway, so how is everybody this Thursday morning? So did everybody watch the inauguration? I know we're not American, but obviously what happens over there happens here. Did people watch? I've got to say, I cried several times. There was just this sense of relief when I saw Kamala Harris being, good morning, Yaz. Good morning, my darling. Good morning. When I saw Kamala Harris getting, doing her speech and getting sort of officially made vice president, there was a part of me that was like, oh my God, this is it. This is it. The world is changing again. We are moving forward again. It feels like Mercury retrograde has been reversed. And then when I saw Biden's speech, it was like, come on, please, just let him put his hand on the Bible and say the stuff he needs to say. Let him get sworn in. Tyler Young, you're from Scotland, but you wanted Trump to stay. Well, unfortunately, Trump is horrendously anti-trans, and basically his stance on my life basically says that basically he doesn't believe that I should exist as a human being. So there you go. So from that perspective, I could never stand by Trump in any way, shape, or form. But you are welcome to your opinion. But then when Biden was sworn in, I literally cried. I literally was in tears because I was like, oh my God, we are moving forward. We are, yeah, no, Trump basically banned trans people from being in the military. He banned trans people. He basically brought in a law that said a doctor can refuse to treat a trans person in A&E. So if I was in America and had a heart attack, he could refuse to treat me. If I had a bullet wound, he could refuse to treat me. Nothing to do with trans issues, just the mere fact that I was trans, you could be denied treatment. So yeah, he's a vicious, disgusting human being, and I am very glad that he's gone, because it feels a lot safer now. It really does. And the fact that in Biden's cabinet is a trans woman running the house. She's amazing. Dr. Levine. If anyone, I don't know if anyone's been following it. I think she's from, this is what I'm going to say, Pennsylvania. And I don't remember whether that's the state or whether that's, I think it's the state, isn't it? The state of Pennsylvania. Yes. She's been running their sort of COVID response, and she's absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. Like, seriously amazing. She's just amazing. So yeah, so the fact that Biden's brought her in, it's like, A, she's one of the top doctors in her field and one of the top corona experts, and she's just amazing. And the fact that she's a trans woman doesn't seem to have been like a major issue. So yeah, I think that's great. But anyway, I really liked it. And I've got to say, the moment, Gaga, just Gaga, just wow. Michelle Obama walking like down through the Capitol Hill, owning it like a bloody runway. Oh my God, Michelle Obama looked stunning, absolutely stunning. She worked that. Absolutely loved seeing Michelle Obama. But then, like, for me, I guess the highlight for me, apart from obviously, now actually having a president that hopefully isn't going to be such a douchebag. But for me, the biggest thing was having that. I can't remember her name. Was it Amanda Gorman? The little. She was very understated. Yes, she was, Anita. The poet, the spoken word poet. She was amazing. She was so. She was so cool. I was like, wow. The fact that you are 22 years of age and you are delivering this amazing spoken word poem, like in front of a load of people, is one thing. The fact that you're doing it in front of a president is another. The fact that you're doing it in front of all of the recent presidents except for Carter and Trump is like bonkers. And the fact that you're 22 years of age and you're doing it at the inauguration on a worldwide stage that people are watching. Oh my God, I thought she was so cool. So cool. I really did. I was like, yes, look at this. Look at this. There was a future, and the future isn't orange. Anyway, enough about politics. Well, not about politics. Let's talk fashion. Let's just talk fashion, because that's the really important thing. Did everybody see the picture of Bernie Sanders? I don't know whether you've seen it online. Everybody else there is like, they're in their suits and they're in their like big posh winter designer jackets and all of that. And the Obamas looked amazing. They looked like royalty. Seriously, looked like royalty. And Kamala in her amazing outfit. Did you see footage from later in the show? Katy Perry singing "Firework" closing the night was amazing. No, I didn't. I haven't seen that. I saw J-Lo, who I thought looked amazing. Except it was really funny because obviously being in the beauty world, J-Lo's just got her new skincare range out. And when the camera was when she was singing, the camera zoomed in, she had this really bad furrow there like that. And I was like, oh, that's not a very good advert for your skincare range, is it? With all of your Botox and everything else that you've had, and you've still got these like lines there. But I thought, never mind, we're not going to shame her. I just thought it was amusing that, in all the photos, all the publicity for her skincare range, she's like, her forehead is like that. So it's not a line, there's not a nickel or wrinkle. And then when she's live, it was like that. I was like, oh my God, that's. But I found that amusing. But again, she looked stunning, absolutely stunning. Yeah, I just thought it was mate. I mean, Dr. Biden, Joe Biden's wife. Wow, just absolutely amazing. Well worth a watch on YouTube. It was a very emotional with all the fireworks going off in the background. I will definitely have a look. And I thought Garth Brooks, when he came out and started singing, I was like, that looks like Garth Brooks. But in my head, I probably haven't, because obviously we're not American and these people don't tour over here very much. I don't think I've seen Garth Brooks actually like on a program or anything, probably in 15 years. And I didn't realize for a minute, I didn't recognize him because obviously he's put a little bit of weight on and he's a bit grayer, just with age. But then when he started singing, I was like, that sounds a bit like Garth Brooks. And then I was like, why would Garth Brooks be at a Democratic inauguration? And it was Garth Brooks. I was really impressed. Good morning, Little Miss Budget. Good morning, my darling. I've subscribed to your channel. I want to say I've watched your video. I've watched so much YouTube recently that I don't actually remember whether I've watched it or not. I think I have. I'm sure I have. I think I have. Yes, I think I have. I know I watched Kelly's and I commented on Kelly's, and I'm sure I watched yours afterwards as well. I'm sure I did. I'm sure I did. If not, I'll go and check after this. I'll put you on my little list of things that I need to do after filming. But I was very impressed at like everybody getting their videos up and things. It's so cool. So if anyone doesn't know who's from Beyond Authentic, we over on Facebook, we've got a really lovely Facebook page called Making It Authentic. And basically it's a place where we try and support small creators, we try and support small businesses, we try and support each other in the community to try and just help each other grow. And it's also a place where if we find any really amazing deals or anything, we'll put those over there. We've got a few people that we know that have blogs rather than vlogs, and they post their vlog sort of that blog stuff over there and everything. So yeah, so that's really cool. So hopefully if you are watching this on the replay or if you're watching this live, do check it out. Facebook Making It Authentic is the page name. So yes, right. So then, I have had. Let's talk about health and well-being now, because that's what this channel is all about. It's not just about the amazing fashion of the Obamas. Also, Michelle Obama's hair. That's all I'm going to say. The word "laid," L-A-I-D, was trending on Twitter yesterday because that wave that she had in her hair is basically it's called "It's been laid," because it's got the layers and it's like set. That stunning. Stunning, 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 stunning. Oh my god, just amazing. But anyway, and then seeing, I keep talking about it, but then seeing Gaga hugging Michelle Obama, and it was just, like, oh my god, there is a future. But anyway, enough about that. Enough about that. Michelle is honestly on a different level. I can only aspire to be that fashion level. I thought that said fashion label. I know, right? Yes, she is. She's so put together. She's so like she's not fashionable. She's stylish, and there's a massive difference because fashions come and go. You know, budgie blue eyeshadow, green eyeshadow. We've all done that. We've all got photos where we look back and you go, "What the hell?" And we've all got those outfits. The dodgy outfits that we've worn and the dodgy dresses because it was the fashion and because that was what we've all got those in our wardrobes or in our back catalogs on our Facebooks, all the pictures on our Instagrams. Mine were on MySpace, and fortunately MySpace is gone, so I don't have those anymore. What a shame. But yeah, Michelle Obama is not fashionable. She is stylish. And incredibly stylish at that. I think she is absolutely just stunning. Why is my phone doing weird things? I don't know. I think she is just, well, it is what it is, isn't it? It is what it is. But yes, I think that let's move on. Let's move on to health. So this channel's focus is really more on health, well-being, mental health, physical health, weight loss, all of that. Which is something I'm really passionate about. I know, right? I can't believe it because I put so much weight on recently. But because of my eating disorder, that's one of those things that I do have to fight with constantly. And sometimes my mental health fight means that I don't have as many spoons to deal with the eating disorder. Or in the case of last year, our physical health has meant that we haven't had as many spoons. But this week we have been really much back on it. It's been really good. There's been no day where I haven't been relatively on plan. Now, the one exception I would say would probably be yesterday, where my fibro was so bad yesterday. I spent a lot of the day in and out of sleep. I then went to bed. Well, I didn't go to bed, but Rufus fell asleep on the sofa yesterday after I'd made soup. So there's a recipe coming up on here a little bit later in the week. I'd done a really lovely soup. It was really, really tasty. So I had that for lunch, and then we sort of sat down on the sofa. And then for me, it was 2 hours later. And Rufus was like, "Oh, you popped off again. You fell asleep." And I was like, "Oh, okay." So I kind of woke up, came to, and then started doing stuff. And then he was like, because he cut his hair yesterday, so he looks fit now. He does look fit now. But anyway, so he cut his hair yesterday. So I helped him with that at the back, as you do. And then I kind of was just on YouTube scheduling the video for Beyond for Authentic Beauty for today There's a spoilers. It's a glossy box video, and there might be another rant. And it's the last ever glossy box. You'll see it'll be going up on Authentic Beauty later on today. So I was scheduling that on YouTube and doing all of that. And then I looked over and he was asleep, bless him. So I was like, right, okay, I wanted to watch some YouTube and I wanted to do some other bits and pieces. So I was like, right, okay, I'll go in the bedroom and I'll watch YouTube in the bedroom. That was about 6 o'clock yesterday. No, I'd already been on the phone to Kirsty yesterday. We had a natter and just about stuff. And yeah, so I was like, right, in the bedroom, putting on my YouTubes, watching Emily D. Baker, the Badass Lawyer. Love her, love her. Watching Frenemies podcast and all of that. You're quite right, Yaz. Yaz says it wouldn't be right if Glossybox didn't leave your channel with a rant. I know, right? Yes, it really did. It really did. But anyway, so I was watching all the YouTube channels, all my YouTube videos and stuff, and I was quite happily, you know, watching videos. And then it was like 6:30 in the morning or something, because I'd blanked out and gone to sleep, or powered down, as Rufus calls it. So yeah, so yesterday was a bit weird, but in between all of that, because literally all I'd eaten was the soup, in sort of lunchtime, and then when I kind of woke up, it must have been before 6:30. It must have been about 4:30 in the morning. Woke up and then I grabbed something from the fridge and I just had a couple of like nibblies. But then I had my Slimming World Sin bars, my Alpen Light bars and things. And I did have a few more than I should have done. But I was working on the premise. I was like, do you know what? I haven't eaten a meal. I've only had my soup. I didn't eat a proper meal. So I was like, do you know what? I'm just going to have a couple of these and then I'll be fine. So all of that said, I was kind of on plan. I would say I was 95% on plan for the week. Haven't done a lot of walking, haven't done a lot of exercise, just because have been drinking a shed load of water and tea and coffee, well, coffee mainly, just to try and flush my system through. So that's been a big thing. And so my goal at the moment is to lose between £1 and £1.50 a week. And I've actually come in this week with £2.50 up. Is that the right way? Is that on my screen? That looks reversed. Is that the right way around? Because on my screen that looks like it says almost 5. It says SDL, whatever that is, 1/5 and then 5. But yeah, so I've come in with £2.50 up, which I am really happy with. I will take that this morning. I will absolutely take that. It's the right way around. Okay. Yes, it's the right way around. Oh, thank you. It looks really, on my screen, it is absolutely reversed. I've not noticed that before. Oh, look, my costume looks reversed as well. How have I not noticed that on these lives? Oh, someone's sending me a message. How have I not noticed that? All these weeks and months of lives and I've not noticed that. Yes, so £2.50 off, which I am really happy with, which means I've now lost £8 in 2 weeks. Happy with that. It's way above my my target, so yeah, happy with that. It's probably going to be a slower time this time, just because we can't go out that much, and because with my fibre at the moment, not only do I ache in every single joint of my body, every bone, everything aches. It's so painful. But I also, my balance is atrocious. So if I try and walk too far, then I just go wibbly. So, you know, it is one of those things. So yeah. So how is everybody doing this week? How are you all doing in terms of health and well-being? Have any of you been following any kind of healthy eating plans? Have any of you been, oh my God, Little Miss Budget, £5 off. Well done. That's incredible. Well done, you. That is incredible. That is so good. Well done. How have you done that? What have you done this week? I hope you're doing it healthily. Again, I'm not going to be anyone to judge. So if you're telling me that you're just living on mung beans and speed, then that's fine. You know, deal with the rest of the health stuff later. But how have you done it? I do hope you've done that. Wow, but that is incredible, Little Miss Budget. Wow, well done. £5 is great. But also for anybody that hasn't managed to lose weight this week, it doesn't matter. It honestly doesn't matter. As long as you are heading in the right direction, eating healthily. It doesn't matter, kind of. Let's not focus on the numbers too much, because there will be weeks where that will be a plus or that will be a maintain, and I'm fine with that, because overall, it's my overall, like, I'm not thinking, what am I losing week on week? I'm thinking, how much closer am I to my 5 or 7 stone target for the year? That's what I'm thinking of. You're just eating better, more salads, etc., and watching the calories. Well done, you. That's amazing. That is so, so, so good. Well done. Again, if you find any really interesting low calorie sort of recipes and things, whack them over on the Facebook page. That would be really cool. As I say, I filmed the soup recipe for yesterday, because it is one that me and Rufus kind of came up with. It's an adaptation of one that we found. So that's really cool, and it tasted delicious. Yaz, you're not doing weight loss, etc., but you're still working on making your diet a bit more veggie, vegan based, and it's been fun trying lots of new stuff this week. Well, that's really good. Plant-based diets can be really, really helpful for a lot of people to lose weight. So yeah, that's really cool. I'm glad that you're finding some tasty food. It's a lot easier these days to get plant-based food, isn't it? I know that, like, we go to Aldi a lot, and they've now got a plant-based section, which is amazing, because I was looking for my soy milk, and I was like, I can't find my soy milk, can't find my soy cheese, don't know what's going on, I haven't got my soy yogurt. Where is everything? What is going on with Aldi? And then we got to the end of the aisle, and it was like plant-based. I was like, oh, it's all there. So that was a lot easier. I don't do plant-based as a diet plan. I mean, we do some meals that are, I mean, technically yesterday for me was a vegan day, because I only have soy milk and things, and yeah, it does. Yes, Aldi has an amazing range, and it tastes pretty amazing too. Yeah, the soya yogurts are really tasty. Recommend those big time. I get the vanilla one and I get the blueberry one, but then sometimes I'll get a plain one, and then I'll put my own sort of syrups and things in it just to give it a bit of a different flavour. I have got some oats. I'm gonna try and do some overnight oats this week. But the thing is, I haven't yet managed to get back onto an actual Slimming World group, so I still don't know what my Healthy Extra B, Healthy Extra A, all of those allowances and that things are. And for me, as I said, I think last week, I need that regimen. I need that kind of stricture, if you like. I need that strict, like, this is on plan, this is off plan. Eat this, don't eat that. Eat as much as you want of that. Don't eat any of that. That's what I need. Because if you say to me, just have a little nibble of that and a little nibble of that, I'll eat platefuls of everything, and that's the problem. But yeah, no, well done to everybody for keeping it up. I know, especially in this time of year, January is such a hard time to lose weight, because people are like, oh, it's cold, it's dark, I can't be bothered cooking. Yes, your dad does Slimming World, and he's really struggled with it all being online. That's the thing, because one of the things that I really enjoyed about Slimming World when we were there before, I think you've got to find the right group that clicks with you. I think that's a really, really big thing. So that'll be my Slimming World top tip. That'll be my number one tip. Like, regardless of everything else, find a group that you click with, because the tip number 2 would be, good morning, Renata. Good morning, my darling. We're just talking weight loss. I don't know whether you can see here in the background. This is my result this week. So I am happy to have that. Oops, there you go. It's made his motivation drop, as he loved going to group each week. Yeah, so but find a group that you connect with, number 1. Secondly, go to group every week if you can, and stay for image therapy, they call it. Stay for that. Really important. And 3, stick with it. Try and stick on plan. If you fall off, get back on. Don't kind of write off the week. Don't just say, oh, you know, I've had 3 burgers today, the week is ruined. Just get back on it the next meal, like the very next meal. Just get back on as soon as you can. But of those 3 things, finding a group that you click with is really hard under lockdown, obviously, because groups aren't meeting face to face. And then secondly, stay to group and stay to image therapy, where groups aren't meeting face to face. So yeah, and it's also the whole thing about, I don't know yet how you weigh in. Like, do I have to film it? Do I have to, like, is it on a Zoom call? Do I have to, I don't know how that works. I honestly don't know how that works. So that's going to be an interesting thing to discover. But for me, when I was at group before, it was one of the, a couple of days ago, you've made a huge part of You did this on purpose. Jigadina goulash, really good for the diet. So not. Oh, I don't know what that is. I don't know what that is, Renata. So I don't know if that's if you're when you say it's really good for the diet. So not. Does that mean it isn't good for the diet? Does that mean it's full of like oil and fat and potatoes and things? Then lovely, lovely like chocolate bars and like you know giant burgers and fries and things. I don't know. I don't know. Um, but well done for like doing a huge pot of dinner. That'll keep you going. It might not be the healthiest, but well done for doing that because I know that you know for a lot of us, for me and Rufus, if we get poorly or have a bad day or just a really really exhausted day, that's when the takeaway menus can come out. Or you go, oh, just eat. Oh, it's really bad. Okay, but it's still better than probably a takeaway, is it? I don't know. I don't know what's in a goulash. I don't know what's in that. So yeah. Yeah, as far as your dad's concerned in losing his motivation, just for me, it was very much. I mean, technically, I probably should have been on plan back at the end of last year or back in November when I was planning to get back on plan, but I wasn't quite there yet. And so for me, my goal this time round is literally 1 to 1.5 pounds a week. That's it. 1.5 pounds a week, a pound a week. Like a pound a week is £52. That is near enough 4 stone. It's not quite, but it's near enough 4 stone. Pound and a half a week. You know what I mean? This is when you start getting into the serious amounts over the course of a year. If I could lose 5 stone, 7 stone this year, which is what my target is, which means me losing between 1.5 to 2 pounds a week, if I can lose that this year, I'll be more than happy with that. Oh, it's made with oil and cream. Oh, Renata. It does sound delicious, though. It really does. It really does sound delicious. But yeah, so that's my goal. But again, it's individual. So the fact that yes, you're eating more salads and you're doing more of a vegetable vegan based diet, that's really good. It depends though. It depends. Let me just add, because a vegan diet could mean going to Burger King and eating the vegan Whopper and chips every day. That technically is a vegan diet. Doesn't mean it's healthy, but it's a vegan diet. It's definitely vegan. Just going to the fish and chip shop and having, chips, a scallop, mushy peas, and scraps every day. It's vegan. Not the most healthy thing in the world, but it is a vegan diet. So yeah, so it all depends on why people are doing it. And again, do you know what? We're in bloody lockdown. I am this time round. I am absolutely forgiving myself if we sit there one day and I think, do you know what? I can't be bothered cooking. Can't be asked. Don't have the energy for it. Can't be asked. It's cold. I'm feeling like crap. Bit miserable. I want a burger. Then I will have a bloody burger and sod it, because we're in lockdown and mental health as well as physical health kind of need to go hand in hand. And I think sometimes we all focus on new year, new me, new resolutions, lose weight, lose weight, lose weight, and we forget about the mental health side. And you know what? Sometimes I do want a bit of a treat. Just looking at the ratties. Right then, so I'm going to start putting my face on because we are going out food shopping after this. Depends on the fat used by the chippy. Exactly, I know it does. Mostly though, they use vegetable oil, and all the ones near us, their vegetable oil is well used, like well used. But it also depends on your definition of vegan, doesn't it? Because it can be, if it's cooked in something that has once had a sausage, like if the fat's once had a sausage put in it, then does that mean that because the fat is then cooked in, does that or it depends, doesn't it? It's like if the food you're eating is plant-based, then are you necessarily worrying about how it was fried if at one point a sausage kind of rolled against it at one point? You know what I mean? It depends, doesn't it? It depends on the reasons for doing it. No Burger King, etc., but you did have a cheeky vegan Costa toasty and cake this week. Ooh, I like Costa. I mean, when we go out today, if we end up going to either shopping centre, then I think I'll probably be picking up a Costa today because I want to treat myself. But again, that'll be treating myself to a soy cappuccino or a soy latte. So again, it's not exactly like calories or anything. It's just a coffee with some soy milk in it. Linda, good morning, Linda. You're on the fancy food and I'll have it mood. Not good. Okay, no, that's fine. That's fine, Linda. If you fancy food, then have it. You know, at the end of the day, this is the thing, and this is why, for me, the eating disorder has been really, really difficult, and it's why it probably will never go away. And I will more than likely yo-yo over the next sort of years to come, is because food, like if you're an alcoholic, you can not drink alcohol and survive. If you are a gambling addict, you cannot drink, not gamble and survive. If you are a heroin addict, you cannot take heroin and survive. And I'm not saying those things are easy. I'm saying that, you know, going through treatment and however much therapy and all of that hard work, you can come off of those substances and survive. When your addiction, when your disorder is food, which you literally need to survive, that's when things get difficult. And that's both ways, both ends of the eating disorder spectrum, whether it's like super calorie controlled, where you're sort of going down the sort of the anorexia road or the bulimia road or the binge eating road, whichever sort of part of that spectrum it is, it's really difficult because you do need food. And what I will say, Linda, is that, look, if you fancy a burger or if you fancy a pizza or a takeaway or, I don't know, steak a la carte or whatever it is that you fancy, if you are feeling crap, and a little treat in a week of being on plan or a week of like concentrating on your calories or whatever, that isn't going to do you that much damage, in all honesty. You know what I mean? If you've been calorie counting all week and you have a day off and on that day you have a pizza or you have, you know, a burger and chips, that shouldn't upset that entire week. And even if it does, and even if you end up with just a maintain, or, you know, you only put a couple of pounds on, in my head, that other 6 days of watching what you eat and losing the weight, if that means you've only put a pound on, or you've only maintained, or you only lost half a pound, or whatever it is, then if that's what you needed to get through on that day, because life is so shit right now for all of us, and we're all locked down, and we're all feeling it, and we're all getting frazzled. You know, it's not just our hair that's got split ends. You know what I mean? We're all frazzled. If that is what you need, then take that mental health break from the diet, because if just sticking regimentally to a diet plan where you're restricting yourself from anything that's remotely tasty, that if you say you really fancy a Mars bar one day, you really, really want a Mars bar, you've been thinking about it all day long, and you go to the shops and you're like, I'm not going to buy a Mars bar, I'm not going to buy a Mars bar, and you go, right, okay, I'm just going to eat this salad, or I'm just going to eat this apple. I bought an apple instead. I'm going to sit here and eat it. Or you've gone to say you know, you've got, I don't know, for those of you that have got kids, you've gone through the drive-through and all you've been thinking about is a Mars bar. I'm not Mars bar, I said that again, didn't I? Like a burger. And you go through and you're like, no, I've got the burger and chips for the kids. I'm going to have an apple bag. When you eat that, you are in no way, shape or form, going to feel satisfied. And you're going, oh yes, these apple slices are so nice. It's, oh yes, it's definitely not a Mars bar, or it's definitely not a burger and chips. Oh wow, I'm so satisfied. Then the next day or that night or wherever, you're still thinking, I want a burger. I didn't have a burger. I want a burger. I had some bloody apple slices. That's not a burger. Or, you know, I still want a Mars bar. I had an apple. Not a Mars bar. Not a Mars bar. It's better to kind of go, right, I'm going to have that Mars bar and I'm going to eat it mindfully. Now, this is the key difference. Don't just shove it in your gob and then go, ha ha, which for me, my eating disorder, my little demon in the back of my head basically says, eat the Mars bar. Don't tell no one. Eat it really quick. Shove it in your gob. Eat it as fast as you can. No one's going to know. That's what the little demon says. What I have to do is go, no, because if I shove it down my throat, don't tell anyone, go down that route, then it really isn't going to be, hello, Rocker Barrel. Hello, my friend. Good afternoon. Oh, it's not good afternoon yet. It's good morning. I actually thought that said 1411. My brain just literally misread those numbers. Good morning, Rockabarrel. We're just talking about like how a little tiny bit of what you fancy can sometimes do you good. That's my result this week, Rockabarrel. I hope you've had a good week as well. I know that you've been a bit struggling at the moment, but if you really want that Mars bar and that's all you can think about, then no apples, no low sin, low calorie treats, no Rivita is going to satisfy you. So sometimes it's better to take your Mars bar, cut it in half or cut it into fours or whatever it is, and have a tiny little piece and enjoy it, and literally just be like I'm going to enjoy it. And the thing about mindfulness is literally you take it, you eat it, you think, I like this flavor, I like the texture, oh, it's really sweet, I like how chewy it is. Think about what you're eating, actually like savor the flavor. Sounds ridiculous, but literally do that, and then you'll enjoy your Mars bar so much more that actually it becomes not just does it become something you're craving, it becomes a real treat. And that is kind of how we should think about treats, is that they should be a treat. It should be, you shouldn't have a treat every day. I at my worst, I'd have a treat every day. I'd have several treats every day. I'll just treat myself. I'll treat myself to a cake. I'll treat myself to a Mars bar later. I'll treat myself to a burger. What have I done? What have I done to deserve that Mars bar, that treat, that cake? Probably not a lot. And so for me, I've had to really, really work out and get back into this mindset of, do you know what? If I want something, I will eat it, but I'm going to enjoy it and I'm going to savor the flavor, and I'm not going to beat myself up about the fact that I've eaten that. As I say, yesterday was a really wibbly day for me on plan. Far too many open light bars. I think yeah, far too many. Let's leave it there. But overall, because I'd only had soup during the day, that's basically why. So, it was one of those things. I could have got up and cooked, but I wasn't feeling particularly great. So at the end of the day, I've still come in with a 2.5 pound loss, but I also know I need to be really mindful moving forward, and I need to put certain tips and tricks back into place, like a little. So for me, night times are quite a trigger time. Like when I'm sat lying in bed and I'm watching YouTube and things. Oh, I need to sneeze. Bear with me. Oh, excuse me. Oh dear. So yeah, for me, night times are quite a trigger time. So I used to do this thing where I would take a sin-free platter to bed, and it would basically have like some. Thank you, Anita. It would basically have like some pineapple soups, pineapple slices, or something of this, or some grapes, or whatever, and it would have like all of those plus one of my low sin snack bars, plus maybe a couple of pink and whites because they're 2.5 sins each. So, and I would basically take that to bed with me, and that would be my snacks for the night. And I would save them all up during the day, and then that would be my little tray. And maybe I need to go back to doing that. I don't know. Yes, absolutely. A few little treats every now and then. You'll end up making yourself feel worse and likely go on a binge instead. Absolutely, if you don't do that. But again, it's instead of going. So if you want a treat, you want burger and chips. Have a burger and chips, but don't go for 3 burgers. Just have a cheeseburger and chips. Don't go for like a quarter pounder or a Big Mac or something. Don't go for a giant double Whopper. Go for the smaller option. So you've still got it. If you want a Mars bar, go for the standard size. Don't go for a king size, because again, it's that thing, isn't it? Of if you want something, sometimes you just want a little bit of it, and that's just enough to kind of satiate you. Rocker, you're not into Zoom group thing. I like the real group meetings. I know that is something that a lot of people have talked about. And Yaz's dad can't really get his head around those the Zoom call things either. But it is one of those things that I guess at the moment under lockdown, we've just got to accept that this is the best option. And it's better than nothing, isn't it? And hopefully, though, by coming along and joining in the conversation here every Thursday morning, hopefully it's something that you can sort of, you can share with us how you're feeling, and hopefully we can give you some tips and things as well into helping you stay on plan or helping you kind of get into that mindset. But again, as we said last week, if you're not ready, then it might just be you're not ready. And I know for me, just before Christmas, I was kind of in that headspace, but I wasn't quite there. And so I would not have been able to be back on plan. I would not have been able to start doing all of this or anything else. You know what I mean? I just wouldn't have been able to do it. A couple of what have I found really good this week for weight loss? Let me just think. My soup maker. We've had, I think, 3 days this week where I made soups. I'm going to get my makeup out, by the way. Hold on. It makes it so much easier. For those of you that have seen over on my other channel, Authentic Beauty, I'm currently doing a shop my stash, which basically means every month I've got my little shopping basket, which has got all of my makeup choices for the month. So I've got a massive collection here and down here in these drawers behind me. I've got a massive collection of makeup, and basically I now pick what I'm going to use for the entire month and put it into this little into my little basket. It makes it a lot easier. I don't have to do that whole thing of, oh, what am I going to do? What am I going to get? What am I going to use? What am I going to do? It just means that the options are kind of a little bit limited, but also the decisions have all been made. So it's just playing around with colours and things now, which is an interesting place to be. It's really interesting. Right, so what have I found this week? Yeah, so we did a really nice carrot. Well, it wasn't carrot coriander, was it? It was carrot, butternut squash, ginger, onion and onion soup yesterday. It was amazing, really, really delicious, really, really warming. So the recipe for that will be going up online. I think that'll be going up on this channel tomorrow. Oh, excuse me. So yeah, I filmed that and done in the soup maker. So it's really, really, really simple. The best thing that I have found, the best gadget we've got is the soup maker, to be honest. Second best gadget is the slow cooker, because Rufus has also got this idea to do some recipes using the slow cooker. So those are going to be kind of quite key elements to this channel moving forward, in terms of recipes and things, just because it's simple. And you know, I literally, the soup maker, 21 minutes, you've got soup. You don't have to like peel anything. Well, depends on what it is, but I didn't peel anything. I didn't. I washed the veg. I chopped it up roughly. I peeled the onions, obviously, but that was it. Everything else in the soup maker. Whack it on. Add the water. Add the stock cubes and everything else. Hit the button. Done. And then it's done. Then it's kind of, you're there. And it was one of those things which was just like, the soup that came out was really delicious. There was enough for 4 mugs, so basically like two goes round each. And it was just really, really simple, and it's the easiest thing because you can have a look on this channel. Go back and have a look on this channel, because I think there is now a playlist is the word I'm looking for soups. And yeah, have a look, because you can put like you can bulk them out with chickpeas and things, which I always do because it helps thicken them. But you can also put like your protein in there. You can do it so your whole meal is effectively a soup. And then what you do is you can drink it. You keep adding your water to it, so you're getting all your fluids, and it's actually really filling. Like a tin of soup from Heinz or something, in comparison, is just watered down mush. It's just really horrible. I don't like them at all. Like the soup maker has been the best thing that we've bought. Rocker Barrel, you like this channel? Yes, thank you. You need a girlfriend who's also on Slimming World. There you are, Rocker Barrel. So if there's any lovely ladies in the group who are identifying as females and who are wanting a partner, then our lovely Rocker Barrel there is up for a new relationship. He's up for a girlfriend on Slimming World. Remember what they say about couples: those who sin together stay together. I'm not going to say that. That sounds wrong, doesn't it? You know what I mean? Sin with a Y. I don't know how. There you go. That's a Y. Sin with a Y, not an I. There you go. But yeah, I have done my bits of my skincare already today, by the way. So I've done done my serum. That's the word I was looking for. I don't know what I was going to say then. My brain just completely melted. So yeah. So in terms of Slimming World and weight loss groups and everything now being online, I know that it's not ideal for people. I know that it isn't like one of the reasons that I used to go and stay after for the image therapy was for that kind of almost finger wagging. You know, when you've got to tell your consultant that you put weight on or whatever. For me, that was a really big deal. So that was one of the things in the back of my head was like I didn't want to be on the scales putting weight on and then having people look at me and be like, oh, but hang on, Lisa and Rufus, you always talk about how you know this soup makers are doing or this, that, and the other, and you've got your channel and oh, which is one of the reasons why I stopped on the channel for so long, because once I put the weight on, I felt really embarrassed and ashamed that I'd put weight on. And it really did affect me. Rocker Barrel, you say bread's your downfall. Now you can have bread on Slimming World, but you only got small amounts. My tip, if bread is your downfall, don't buy bread. Sounds ridiculous. Just don't buy it. Don't have it in the house. Because if you've got it in the house, I don't know if you're anything like me. If I've got my trigger food in the house and I'm feeling hungry, so say if I wanted bread, I wouldn't just have like my 2 slices that I'm allowed. I'd be like, oh, well, that's not a lot, is it? I'd get like 6 slices, make them into sandwiches, sit and scoff the whole lot, have some toast, you know, all of that. And for me, that is why there's certain foods that I can't have in the house when I'm on Slimming World, or on any kind of diet plan or healthy eating plan, because I haven't got that off switch. So it's literally all or nothing. So if bread is your downfall, don't buy bread. It's literally that simple. I know it sounds really, I know it's that, and I know it isn't that simple, because when you're shopping, if you're feeling crap, you fancy something to pick you up. But this is the other thing. We are so often taught that food should be our treat. Food should be the thing that makes us feel better about ourselves. And actually, do you know what? That isn't how it is for me. That isn't how it is for me. Like, food is something that fuels my body. And yet, you know, sugar and fat always taste good. So if you and you know, if you put a full fat, full sugar yogurt there and a diet yogurt there, I know which one is going to taste better, but I also know which one I need to eat. This one's going to taste better. This is the one I need to eat. And it's just making those decisions. And it is really difficult and it is really, really hard. But it is just, we've just got to think. For me, I'm thinking, right, realistically, according to the NHS thingy, I'm not going to get my first shot of my vaccination for COVID until the end of August or September. So if I'm not going to be vaccinated until September, I can't go to the gym until September. I can't go out pretty much until September. So that basically means effectively 9 more months of lockdown, which is effectively going to be, you might as well say, another year of lockdown for me personally. So if that's going to be the case, how do I want to come out of lockdown 3? Like, do I want to come out of lockdown 3 the way I came out of lockdown 1 and 2, which is heavier, or do I want to come out of lockdown 3 with a bit more control and a bit more in charge of my own body? And for me, the answer is, well, actually, if I'm going to be limited as to what we can do and where we go and all of that, then let's use this time. People can't see me. Like, I know I'm on the internet, but people can't see me in real life. You can't see what I look like, you know, doing a 360. You can't see how many chins I've got and all of that. And my friends in my IRL, my real life friends, haven't potentially seen how much weight I've put on, which means I can lose some weight. And then when they see me again, I'll look like the same person they knew before lockdown. So there's a little bit of that going on. But there's also the fact of, do you know what? If I can get into some healthy eating, if I can lose weight in fucking lockdown, then once lockdown's lifted and I can get to the gym and do things that I enjoy, imagine how much easier that'll be. That's the key thing in my head. It's like, Jesus Christ, if I can lose 5 stone in lockdown, that sets me up really good for my future. That means at no point have I ever got an excuse. Oh, I can't do this because of this. You lost fucking weight in lockdown, for Jesus Christ's sake. You know what I mean? If I can do this in lockdown and maintain this and keep it off for the next 9 months until we get our jabs and all of that, and if I can do it, then that's good. Then we're good. Rockabarrel, you're heading towards your old weight, £400. Okay, if that's the case, then you need to decide when you're ready, if you're ready, to do something about it. You can carry on eating and you can carry on doing the same thing you've done day in, day out, and you will get to that point and you'll exceed it, and you'll fly past 400 and you'll be at 450, 500 pounds. You will absolutely do that. That will absolutely happen. Guarantee it. Or you can make a decision and decide enough is enough. And you can, like, we are here every week. Talk to us in the chat every week. If you are wanting to crack on it, then get ready. You're ready. You started today. Well done, my friend. Well done. That is amazing. That is amazing. That is so good. That is so good. Well done. I will be here next week. Like, literally, stay on it. Stay on whatever plan you're doing. If you're back onto Slimming World, then, you know, for me, it took a week of prep to get myself back onto Slimming World before a couple of weeks back, because I had to use up some food that we had, all of that, because I'm not going to throw food out. But I basically had to use up the food that we had that wasn't on plan. I had to buy things like Rivitas in and all of that. So I had to kind of make those adjustments. And so it took a little while to kind of go from the way I was eating to the way I needed to eat. So it was like that. Ooh. And now we're here. But for a little while, that did take a little while to organise. So try not to beat yourself up if you have an off day. But if you have an off day, get back on it the next meal. So if you have a one meal, get straight back on plan. Don't discount an entire week. Don't write off a week or write off a day because you woke up and you had, 3 Mars bars for breakfast. Okay, you've done that. Let's see what you can have for lunch and for tea. Have a soup for lunch. Have a low calorie meal, a low sin meal for tea. Back on plan. Don't have any extra sins that evening. You'll find that your 3 Mars bars on that one day over the course of the week won't have done you a lot of damage. However, if you go, I had 3 Mars bars for breakfast, fuck it, I'm just going to eat what I want. I'll get back on plan next Thursday. Then you're back further where you were. You spent your budget on open today instead of bread. Well, that's good. That's good. This is it. If you can keep yourself focused, keep yourself making those healthier choices, then eventually, things will shift. Yes, you did really well for walking, etc. during lockdown 1, as it was sunny. So I'm hoping I'll want to go out more when it's nicer weather. This is it, isn't it? It is a little bit easier. It's always easier to lose weight in the summer months. It's always easier. It's warmer. You've got more energy because the days are longer, so you're out for longer. Winter for me is always about stodge. Little Miss Budget, you make a shopping list and stick to it. That's a really good thing to do. Thoroughly recommend that. Have a look in your cupboards. What do you actually need? What are you going to eat this week? Try and pre-plan. I know it's really difficult with lockdown, but try and pre-plan where you can what you're going to eat. And if you need to cook, so sometimes that soup maker, again, sometimes I'll do a soup and then that'll be, we'll have that on the day. So we'll have our mug of soup during the day. And then the rest of it will go into a pint jug and we'll sit either in the fridge or sit in the microwave or whatever. And then the next day we've got soup and it's there ready to go. And it's that thing of sometimes just pre-planning a little bit or thinking, right, if I do a really big, I tell you one thing that we do, and it's going to be going to make it into a video. One thing that we do is we do the one pots, so the slow cooker type meals. So we'll have a meal one day, and we've got a family size, I guess, slow cooker. So we'll do that, and we'll do a stew, for instance, or a casserole, whatever you want to call it, and it will be really tasty, like meat, vegetables, all of that in the slow cooker, pulses, beans, all of that, super, super, super on plan, super healthy. Put it on in the morning. By the time tea time comes, it's cooked. Don't have to think about it. It's done. If you get one of the slow cooker liners from Poundland, you just put that in the bottom. Then there's not even a lot of washing up to do. It's so easy. But what we'll do is we'll have that for say today. So we'll have that today, and then we'll have probably maybe 2/3 of that, because it's if you have a big bowl of it, then yeah, maybe 2/3 of a slow cooker between the two of us. So we'll have 1/3 of it each, or maybe just over half of it each. no, not half of each, but just over half of it. So then what's left, we basically sit down, we go, right, okay, I need to have that the next day. But 2 meals on the trot, the same 2 days in a row, bit boring. So what I do is I will take that stew, especially if we've got so normally we have 2/3 of it on one day, and then there's a third left. So what I will then do is add in a tin of kidney beans, and some chili, maybe some more onion, whack it back on. It all cooks through again, and then what you've got, your leftovers from day one, becomes a chili or a curry or something for day two. It's a really simple way of doing it. It's budget friendly. It's really, really sort of, once you've got your meal done, then you've got your meal for your 2 days, and it's really, really simple. Hi, Lisa. Lisa Strafford says hi. Hi, my darling. Hope you are well. I haven't done much on my face yet, have I? Look. But yeah, Rockaberry, your body is screaming for protein, too many carbs. Okay, then protein's a good way. So cooked chicken, absolutely. Like Aldi do the small chickens for £2.50, I think it is, or £3 for a small chicken. You just bung those in the oven, take the skin off, and you've got a whole chicken. Now you can do different things. Then I'm somebody, I really like, if I have, like, so you get your whole roast chicken, you have your breast, you can turn that into whatever, you eat that. But also the chicken legs I'll put in a bowl in the fridge for snacky picky uppy food. And what I tend to do is take all of the meat off, put those in a bowl, cover it with cling film, have that in the fridge, and then I've got, again, a bowl of snacky picky uppy food. If I want to put it with a healthy extra wrap or something, I can do that. Good morning, Kelly. Good morning, my darling. I hope you are well. I loved your video, by the way. We're just talking weight loss tips and things, because Rockabarrel has just started back on today on a plan. So today you're having chops with the fat cut off. Now, do you have animals, Rockabarrel? Do you have like dogs or cats or rats or anything? Because I am a bugger, an absolute bugger, for taking a pork joint and cutting the fat off, and then while I'm doing the dinners, like, I'll have the fat cut off, and I'll be like, oh, but the fat's the best bit. I'll just have a little bit. And then the fat's gone, and I've eaten it, and then all that fat is then in my body, which is a bit crap, isn't it? You feed it to the birdies, fantastic. That is the best. That's the best thing to do, my friends. Cut the fat off before you cook it, because that's another big thing. Cut it off before you cook it, and then stick it on your bird feeder or whatever. Throw it out the garden, because that way you're not tempted to have a little nibble. Because we all know the best bit about like cooked meat sometimes can be the fat. The best bit of the chicken is the skin, all of that. So sometimes, literally, feed it to the animals, get rid of it out in, on the bird feeder tray, and then you're not tempted. And then you can sit and eat your chop. And if you want 3 chops or 4 chops or 5 chops, you can have that. Yes, our dog gets all the fat that Dad cuts off everything. Yeah, exactly. So does ours. But unfortunately, it means that one of our doggies is a bit porky now. So what I've had to do is we now have to sort of like rein it back onto like which dog gets the fat, and sometimes that's an issue, because then you have to go, right, okay, oh look. But luckily our dogs are a bit bonkers. They like carrots. So carrot discs. So basically, in the soup yesterday, I chopped the ends off the carrots, as you do, and then I chopped a little bit more off, because the dogs really like carrots. So you just give them a carrot. So sometimes if we're doing like a roast, say we're doing a pork and I'm doing like a roast pork dinner, so I've got carrots and veggies and things in the steamer, and then I've got the pork in the oven. Take the fat off the pork when it's cooked. Actually, not, I know you're supposed to cook it beforehand, but anyway, take the fat off when it's cooked, and then one of the dogs will get the fat, the other ones will get the carrot, and she thinks she's getting the same treats, or she thinks she's getting better treats because she really likes carrots. So again, little things like that. If you can minimize the risks, basically, it's all just minimizing the risks. So yeah, for me, by the way, Kelly, that's my result this week, £2.5 off. Which I'm really pleased about. So yeah, so it's all about, just, if you know what triggers you, try and put things in to step in before that trigger happens. So if you have a really stressful day, or no, let's not talk about stress. Let's talk about, so you think, oh, I know, WandaVision episode 3 comes out on Friday, is out. I'm going to sit in front of the telly. I'm going to really enjoy that. I always have popcorn with it. Oh, yum, 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 yum. If that is something that normally triggers you, then, but you still want your popcorn, then go and get one of the microwave popcorn things that are really low in sins or really low in calories. If, you know, for me, my trigger time quite often is when I go to bed and watch YouTube, because then I just want to go picky. If I take some grapes and some fruit and some meat or something to bed with me, some cooked meat, that's my picky. It's all back on plan. It's all healthy. So again, it's about working out for you what makes you fall off plan. If for you it's, you know, I don't know, it might be, you know, having a really crappy time, then if having a stressful time means that you turn to food, what else could you do to alleviate that stress? Could you have a really nice bath with some bubbles? Could you, you know, listen to some really relaxing meditation sounds? Could you, I don't know, could you go for a walk around the block? All of those things, put that into, try and kind of think, right, okay, if I have a crap day, I'm going to do this. I don't need to do that. You found out that pot noodles are 22 sins. I can't verify that because I haven't got my books and things, because again, I'm still waiting to officially rejoin the group. And I don't know how it all works under lockdown. I still need to message her. But yeah, quite possibly. There are some, Kelly, if you look for, there's a playlist called recipes. Now, again, please, and I know that you won't, Kelly, but please, for everybody watching this, when you go back through the channel, you'll see videos from a couple of years ago where I was a lot slimmer than I am now. And that's something that I hate, to be honest, about the internet, because I can't basically go in and Photoshop myself looking how I do now back in those pictures, or make myself look now how I did then. So yeah, just please be aware that I have put a lot of weight back on since then, but I'm back on my plan and I will get back to that point. And this is one of the reasons for regularly posting on this channel again, is because this really does help me. Everybody out there watching, everybody on Beyond Authentic, all of the people that were with us before, it really helps me stay focused, because I kind of feel that I owe it to people to be honest about my weight journey. And one of the reasons why I stopped filming on this channel was literally because I put the weight on. So if you look at if you go back through, there is a playlist called recipes. There are some really tasty recipes on that. One of the things that I'm planning on doing probably at some point this week, maybe, yeah, depending on, we've kind of got our meals planned. But I'm going to be doing the keema matar. So there is a keema matar recipe from one of the Slimming World books, a curry recipe that is so delicious. It's amazing, seriously amazing. So we're going to be having that this week because I'm really looking forward to that. So yeah, Lisa, Rocker Barrel, the chicken light super noodles are okay and 0 sins. Yeah, have a look at different ones because they are different sin values for different ones. Also, if you are, I don't know whether you are a member of Slimming World Rocker Barrel, but if you are, double check your books, double check on the app, because that is one of the things that we've had to say in the last couple of videos, is that for us, we aren't currently on technically a Slimming World plan because we haven't got the books to hand, and so because of that we are slightly second guessing the sin values and things and trying to keep it within sort of the limits that we thought before. But again, until I can get my hand on the books, it's all a little bit guesswork. So please do take responsibility for your own, you know, checking your own sin values and things, because that's the only way that we can do it, isn't it? So you're not at a group at the moment. Okay, that's fine. It's you know, you don't have to, like, this channel is focused on health, weight loss, well-being, all of that. it doesn't necessarily have to be Slimming World that you follow. It's Lisa says, guessing better. What? Guessing is better than nothing, Lisa. Don't think much has changed for ages. No, exactly. The only thing we know that changed was the Muller Lights. Free, eat as much as you want. Oh, hold on, Slimming World are bringing out their own yogurts. Now, all of a sudden, Muller Lights, 25 million sins each. There's a lot of the behind the scenes like stuff like that that really kind of annoy me about Slimming World. Do you know at one point, if you go back, like, don't judge me, please, and I know you won't judge me, but this is my own insecurity coming out, and you can see because I'm about to say the same thing that I've just already said. But if you do go back and watch some of the old recipes from like watch some of the old videos from about 2 or 3 years ago, you'll see when I was quite a lot slimmer. When we were at that point, me and Rufus were seriously considering being consultants, and in fact, our consultant at the time was like, "You'd be really good at this. Honestly, you'd be really good at this." And it was one of the things that we were thinking about. But there are some issues that I have with the way Slimming World works, and yeah, it's that authenticity thing for me. It's that ethical thing, isn't it? That's the thing that always start. I could probably be, we could have signed up back then, and we could have been making a serious amount of money off Slimming World and off of people. But it's not about that for us. It's about like being authentic and being genuine and being like in the moment and all of that. And if it's just that thing of this item is sin free until, oh, we've now brought our own version of it, now this is heavily sinned. That's what I have issues with. But anyway, Rocket Barrel, you've not been to group for ages. Okay, you can always rejoin, you can always sign back up, or you can always take the books. If you've got the books, you've got the knowledge there. You don't necessarily need to be paying £5 a week or £6 a week for the group sessions. Once you've got your books and you've got everything to hand, you've got all that information. And I know that the image therapy thing is a key thing for a lot of people, getting the tips and tricks from other people, recipe ideas. Oh, did you know you can use Rivita as a pudding, Scam Bran, all of that. All of those things are amazing and they really do help your journey. But if you are determined, you don't need that. You can do it on your own. And you won't be on your own because you've got all of us here. And there are plenty of groups, weight loss groups on Facebook, across the internet, on every forum. There are plenty of those. So whilst for me, I will be rejoining a group and I will be taking part in the Zoom calls as long as I'm not, I think I've got a feeling it might conflict, but I will be taking part in the Zoom calls and I will be taking part in the online groups and all of that, because for me, that's something that I personally need just to kind of give me that rigidity and just to keep me kind of motivated, and also just to make sure that the facts that I'm giving on my videos are correct. Because what I don't want to do is go, look at this has only got 2 sins, and everybody go, oh, that's really nice, and then find out it's actually 20 sins and I've misread a 0 on the end. You know what I mean? Right then, let's put some foundation on my face. So my primer has well and truly set in. I was about to say, oh, if you guess what primer I'm using, but it's the only one I'm allowed to use. Little Miss Budget. Several years ago, I got down to nearly my target weight on the Rosemary Conley diet. But as soon as you start eating away from the diet, the weight plus extra went back on. That is the same with everything. But that is the same with any diet. And that it's not necessarily just the Rosemary Conley. Any weight loss is always about calories in versus calories out. If your calories in are less than your calories out, you will lose weight. That's how simple it is. That's it. Full stop. That's it. There is no rocket science. So whether it's Atkins, whether it's Weight Watchers, whether it's Slimming World, whether it's Rosemary Conley, whether it's Lighter Life, all of those things, they're all the same. It's about calories in versus calories out. If you can increase your calories out, then you don't necessarily have to decrease your calories in. But how you manage that is where it's difficult, because we live in a society where every single moment of every single day, we are bombarded with messages from advertisers. And the majority of those messages from advertisers, they are not interested in keeping us healthy and healthy and interested in our well-being, unless they are selling us something to do with health and well-being. What they're interested in is their bottom line, their money. So the best thing that, in all honesty, the very best thing that any of us can do for our own health and our own well-being is cook food from scratch, have a relatively reasonable amount of control over portion size, and be very mindful of the calorie intake and calorie outtake. That is the best thing you can do. Full stop. So if we were back in the 1940s or 1950s, or not the 40s, because obviously after the war, but the 50s or the 60s, that would be kind of what you do. Eat your food from scratch. Cook your food from scratch. Determine what goes in it. Processed food has an awful lot of crap put in it. It has preservatives. It has a lot of fat, a lot of oil. If it's something is low sugar, it tends to be high fat. If it's high fat, it's low sugar. All, you know, if it's low fat, it's higher sugar. All of those things, because it's designed to tickle our taste buds. If you are wanting to basically live a healthier lifestyle, unfortunately, it takes that effort of cooking and preparing and planning. That is what it takes. And the difficulty is that now we've become so used to kind of prick and ding meals, prick, put it in the microwave, ding, it's cooked. We're so used to that, easy food being right on our doorstep, that we actually expect our diet plans to work the same way. So we expect, you know, to be able to get on our phones, just eat, do, or hello, can I have a meal that's going to lose me £2 this week? Thank you very much, bye. We expect that. It's never going to happen. It's never going to happen. The thing with all of these diet plans, especially things like Weight Watchers and Slimming World that have their meals and everything pre-prepared, is they do the effort for you. But there's no reason why you can't do that effort. Like a Slimming World Chinese banquet, however many calories it's got, 800, 900 calories, 1,000 calories, that is part of your like Slimming World plan, because a lot of the food is designed to bulk you out. So it's got lots of rice in it, lots of things like that. It's designed to bulk you out. But you can cook that. It even has it on the back of the label. It's got the recipe for you to do it yourself. It just takes that effort. And the thing is, we are now a society where, oh, can I be bothered cooking? Can I be bothered? And we want these things done for us. And because we want these things done for us, it's, yeah. Rockabell says, I put 5 stone back on. My back really hurts now. And now your bank hurts. I know how I have to do something about it. Well, then let's do it. Let's do it. Let's make 2021 the year that you get that 5 stone off, or you get 3 stone of it off, or you get 12 stone off, whatever it is that, not 12 stone, that's ridiculous, Lisa, bloody hell. But, or, you know, you get like 6 stone, whatever it is, whatever you want to do as your target, let's make this the year. It just takes that planning and that effort, because it's very easy to buy food that is going to fill a need that we think we have. I feel crap. Oh, I'm going to eat something. Oh, this cake tastes really nice. Or 10 minutes later, oh, I ate that cake and now I feel really crap. I've buggered up my diet. Oh, I feel really crap, so now I'm going to eat another cake. Well, don't buy the cake in the first place. If you had to cook that cake, if you had to bake that cake, would you go to all the effort of baking that cake to then sit and scoff it in one go? I doubt it. If you are somebody who likes baking and all of that, and you are somebody who's like, do you know what? I fancy a cake today. I'm going to bake it. I'm going to spend 2.5 hours prepping it, putting it in the oven, getting out the oven, cooling it down, putting some cream on, all of that. If you can go through all of that hassle and all of those steps and actually come out with a cake, then you deserve to eat the bloody cake. To be honest with you, you deserve to eat that slice of cake. If, however, you are somebody who's just gone to the shops and you bought a cake, that then is instant gratification and you're just fulfilling that need. And that is where we are all going to fall back, and it's going to be a lot more difficult. Now, don't get me wrong. I am not somebody who, like, we have ready meals, we have simple food, we have, processed food in our fridge, but I'm trying to limit it. I'm trying to have those meals on days when physically our disabilities are kicking in and we can't do something. So I'm trying to have it that the norm is that we go back to cooking. because when we're cooking, if I'm cooking a meal, I control how much fat I use, I control how much oil I use, I control all of it. I control all of that. I control the flavor palette. I control whether I'm cutting the fat off the meat or putting it into, all of that is controlled. And so, but it just does take that effort of having to do that, of having to have that thought and having to have that moment where you are, oh God, I've got to stand in the kitchen and cook for an hour. Sometimes you're not able to, sometimes you are. And on the days where I am, that's what I'm trying to do, because you are then under control. I'm then completely under control in what goes in my mouth, and what goes in my belly, and what goes into my system. And so, yeah, that for me, that's the biggest thing that I would say to people is try and get back to the habits that our grandparents used to have, which was, if you want something sweet, you have to bake it. If you want something, Kelly, I think mentally you feel better about eating something you've actually cooked yourself too. Ish. I know if me and Rufus cook the same meal, right, his will taste better than mine, and then I know that's going to happen, right? So we both cook spaghetti bolognese, right? Identical meals, same recipe, same everything. If I eat mine, I'm like, oh, it's a bit bland. Oh, it's a bit this. He says, oh no, it's really lovely. I really enjoyed that. If I eat his, I go, oh my God, that's really lovely. I really enjoyed that. He says, oh, maybe I should have used a bit more pepper, or should have used a bit more salt. So there's a thing that if Rufus cooks for me, I enjoy it more. If I cook, then I feel cook for myself. But I do entirely get what you mean. There is, for me, it's like a ready meal is something that is mass produced in a factory by machines. Lowest common denominator of quality of food, generally speaking, and it's basically designed to fill you up. And well, it's not even designed to fill you up, is it? It's designed for you to feel all those taste buds, and for that, those triggers in your brain. I'm sat here with my foundation on my hand. I'm going to whack it in the face. So that is basically what it is designed to do. It's designed to click all those little neurons in the brain and make them fire and go, oh, I've just had some fat. Oh, I've just had some sugar. Oh, yummy, 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 yummy. That's what it's designed to do. Rocker Barrel, you eat a whole trifle from the co-op. Oh my God, so tasty. Okay. That is one pudding that our lovely moderator Anita won't agree with you that tastes tasty. But again, it's not about what you eat necessarily. It can be about the portion size. So that pudding, if you were to make that at home, okay, that pudding would probably taste maybe just as good, but the amount of effort you'd go into would be very difficult. So you probably wouldn't eat a whole one. But what you could do is use sugar-free or low sugar. Close your ears, Anita. Use sugar-free or low sugar jelly. You can use, instead of sponge fingers, you can actually use bread, believe it or not, or other things. So you can actually make it in a very health conscious way. Instead of using custard, you can use like vanilla yogurt and things. So you can make a version of that pudding that is Slimming World or diet friendly, and it can taste absolutely amazing. Tastes very, very nice. Give you that same trigger. Obviously, it hasn't got the whipped cream on top, but it will still be something that is, it still is that pudding. You know what I mean? So yeah, Kelly, haha, yeah, I don't cook very often. My partner normally does. So it feels like a mini achievement cooking a meal for everyone. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I really like the days. I mean, so a few months back, there were basically many, many, many days where Rufus would do the majority of the cooking, because it used to be his career. It was what he was good at. Blame my foundation. It looks weird. That's what I'm doing. I know, right? Blendy, blend. So yeah, so Rufus is a really, really, really good cook. He's a good chef. He's a good baker. Some of the things he used to have, he used to make cakes. So birthday cakes. He's done really elaborate, like high-end birthday cakes, like ridiculously good birthday cakes. Like a friend of ours used to be a BT engineer, and he made her a, the green cabinet at the end of the street with all the wires. He made that. as a cake. What else has he done? Another friend of ours, he's done things like a Batman cake, and he's done a giant frog. He's done Stonehenge. Or actually, it wasn't. It was Castlereagh up in North Yorkshire. He did that for a friend of ours, and it was absolutely amazing, absolutely stunning. And yeah, he's so Rufus is like, he's a very good baker, very good chef, very good cook. Exactly. Yeah, he has got all the technical information Kelly. He really does. He's got all of that ability in his head to just go, this is what works. For me, it's a little more guesswork. And also because of the fibro, my brain doesn't generally function particularly well. So like when you're talking about recipes and ingredients and what goes together, I can't bloody remember half the time. It's like, we've got a little one of these things in the kitchen, and basically I've written it. It's called Rufus's Random Recipes, and it is basically just a whole bunch of recipes that either he's come up with or we've found or we've adapted that we like. And basically the reason I have to write them down is because even the basic ones, even like the soup recipes, I will forget. And I will forget a key ingredient. Like I'll do a carrot and coriander soup and forget the coriander. And I'll be like, why does this not taste right? Oh, I don't know. It's like, oh, what? And because my brain's just gone, no, there is no such thing as coriander. It doesn't exist. It doesn't exist. Anita, you love baking too. It helps ease your mind, but I keep a third of the cake for me and take the rest to my friends. That's a really lovely way of doing it. Yeah, that's a really lovely way of doing it as well. And that way, everybody gets a little treat, don't they? Everybody gets a little something. I think that's a really, really clever way of doing it, actually. That's cool. I like that. So what is your favourite baking thing to bake then, Anita? I've got to say, I adore cakes. Cakes are like, oh God. But if I had to bake, no, actually, no, yeah, probably cakes. Cakes. I like a nice, like a nice Victoria sponge. I really like, or like, what else do I do? What else do I do? See, I'm not really a cake. I'm not really a baking person. Like, I like. Well, I've talked about it before, haven't I? Oh my God, lemon drizzle or chocolate fudge cake. No, you see, lemon drizzle. I had a friend of mine who unfortunately passed away. She passed away from diabetes, but she used to make a lemon drizzle cake that had so much sugar in it that the top of the cake, basically, if you imagine like that's the cake, the top layer of the cake would be about that thick with just sugar and sugar syrup and lemon syrup, and it was very much over the top. But unfortunately, it was one of the reasons why she actually ended up passing away, is because she, even though she was diabetic, she would still cook and eat a lot of these. Sorry, love, but it's true. And she would cook and eat a lot of this, and it caused her all sorts of problems. But yeah, chocolate fudge cake I quite like. Carrot coffee cake I like, but then I like anything coffee flavour. Afflicted, Kelly, I love cooking and baking too, but don't find the time or energy to do that very often. I do make a mean Victoria sponge or shortbread. Oh, shortbread's good. Yeah, shortbread's good. And Anita says, oh yes, I love shortbread too, Kelly. So easy to make. Well, on the channel, you'll find there's lots of sort of quick and easy type recipes that we've done. And we are going to be doing a series when Rufus is a bit better. Which plan do you prefer, Lisa? Slimming World or Weight Watchers? They're very similar. Are you following Slimming World or calorie counting? So technically, at this moment in time, we are, I guess, doing none of it. Technically, we are kind of following the Slimming World plan. But because I haven't gone back to group, because lockdown, and I still need to ring the woman who runs the group and find out how it's going to work under lockdown. And I think the day that she runs her group is when I'm actually working doing a mental health group, which is tonight. So I need to double check all of that. But we are currently following what is our version of the Slimming World plan. Good morning, Mandy. Sorry I'm late. All these cakes sound yummy. I know, right? I know, right? That's my result this week. I can't risk that for a cake. It's not worth it. I worked bloody hard for that £2.5. I didn't. I just didn't eat shit. But you know what I mean. So yeah. So we're currently not doing. We're following the Slimming World plan as we understood it to have been when we left Slimming World about a year ago, 18 months ago, something like that. So basically, we are keeping it fairly low sin, fairly low everything, but we're not technically counting sins as such because we don't know what all the sin values are currently. So it's kind of a little bit guesswork. And I know it's really bad. I should be absolutely counting my sins, and we are going to be doing that as soon as I get my book. Then I will be back on counting. Hi, Mandy. This is Anita. Yes, we are just tempting ourselves. I'm not. Do you know what? I'm absolutely not wanting a cake because I've done that this week, and if I eat a cake, I'm just gonna, and I'm desperately trying not to turn into Marjorie Dawes from Fat Fighters. Cake, yeah, get the cake. Oh, have the cake. She says, then doing it. You need to go on a gluten-free diet this week, but bread or pasta in all shapes and forms are your favourite. Right, Kelly, Asda, their free-from pasta is the same price-ish as their normal pasta. So you can get a bag, like a half kilogram bag or kilo bag, whatever it is, of their free-from pasta for I think 56p or something. Whereas everywhere else, the free-from pasta is ridiculously expensive. It's not their entire range because I went to get some. What did I go to get? It wasn't gluten-free bread. Might have been bread actually, and it was still really expensive. And I begrudge when a normal loaf of bread is like £1, I begrudge paying £3 for a loaf of bread that's smaller and not as tasty. I really begrudge it. So you know me, I'm a cheap bitch. So I won't do it. I just won't get it. This concealer is looking a bit. I've got another one. I've got two in my shop, my stash. But yeah, basically, I won't like end up going for stuff just for the sake of it. Right, let me just get some of this on the back of my hand. But yeah, as does gluten-free range, a lot of it is now like they price match to their non-gluten-free, so that's something I would recommend. Rocket Barrel, you're not paying a £5 for watching on the web. It's for me, it isn't about that. It's about access to the app, because when I've got the app on my phone, when I'm out shopping, I will literally have my phone up and I'll be going, how many sins is this? Ooh, that's too many sins. I'm not going to buy it. Or I'll go, oh, how many sins is this? Oh, that's free food. Oh, I'll buy it. So for me, that's a key thing, is having access to the app, as well as having that record of my weight loss, because it's all well and good me writing down. She says, look, covering up the stone amount there. It's all well and good me kind of keeping a record myself, but I also quite like getting my certificates and my stuff from Slimming World. So yeah, that is one of those things. Kelly, thanks Lisa, I'll check it out. And Asda, I've tried some beetroot and chickpea pasta from Aldi, which wasn't too bad. A little mushy fry though, so probably just a case of finding the right cooking time for al dente. Yeah, I think you go slightly less. So if your pasta normally you take 15 minutes or 12 minutes, go for 10 minutes. Just bring it ever so back ever so slightly. And it still gets a little bit of a crunch, because obviously without the gluten, it kind of goes, it's hard, it's mush. But a lot of normal pasta does that as well. But with gluten-free, what I found is that it can also, if you kind of need to work on your timings, because for me, if you cook something and it's like, with normal pasta, you can cook it, drain it, have it in your sieve or your colander, and have it sort of sat there while you're faffing around with the rest of it, and then you put it together. If you do that with gluten-free pasta, it can go dry, even though it's kind of been cooked and it's wet. If it's out of the water, it can go really dry, but if you leave it in the water, it turns to mush. So you've got to kind of be like, right, okay, this is now ready. I've got this in my colander. I've got my pasta sauce there ready to go, or my tuna bake, or whatever it is I'm doing. I've got that all ready. Right, I now need to quickly merge the two and whack them. Or if you're doing like a bolognese sauce, like pasta on the plate, bolognese sauce on top, because if it's sat there for a while, it can go a little bit dry. But it is good. It is. I use a lot. I mean, we're obviously, I am gluten free. Rufus isn't. He's lucky. He can eat pretty much whatever he wants. Right. I'm just saying, this primer might have to be swapped out. I've been using it, although maybe I won't swap it out just yet because it is just creasing on all my lines. But to be honest with you, it's also like, because I'm talking so much, there is a massive like, it's drying down before I've got a chance to blend it. Is normal pasta free? Can't remember. I believe it is. But again, I can't remember. If anybody knows in the chat that's watching, that's following Slimming World, can you just put in the chat section if standard pasta is still free on plan? I think it is on extra easy. It isn't on SP, obviously. So I think if you're having an SP day, then you need to, you can't have. Well, you won't be able to have any pasta if it's an SP day. Thanks for the tips. No worries, my darling. Let me know how you get on. Also, there is some black bean spaghetti that's really nice. It's like really thin strands. That's really nice. Or I'll tell you where we did go. Where were we? I think it might be Aldi, that have brown rice noodles. So, but they're like linguine. So they're quite thick noodles, thick flat noodles. They are really nice. We had those this week. They are really nice actually, and because it's rice noodles, they're gluten free. So again, and that was just one of the things to watch out for, is that not all food that is gluten free is going to be in your free from section, because a lot of food is naturally gluten free. So I'm sure they won't mind me telling you this, but a little while ago, we went out back in the day, back pre-COVID days, we went out for dinner with some friends of ours in Doncaster. And we went over to their house for dinner, in fact. And she was cooking, and she basically was like, "Oh, I've got this pudding. Like, I managed to get you a gluten-free whatever the pudding was, sticky toffee pudding or something." And she was like, "Oh, I was going to cook rice pudding," she said, "but I couldn't find any gluten-free rice." She said, "I looked absolutely everywhere. All the free from section." She said, "We went into Tesco's, went Asda." She said, "I couldn't find it anywhere." She said, "So I'm so sorry." She said, "We've got rice pudding." She said, "I hope a sticky toffee pudding's okay." And I was like, it is, but we could have just had rice pudding. And she was like, "No, but I couldn't find any gluten-free rice." And I was like, "All rice is gluten-free. It has no gluten in it." So she was like, "Oh," because she thought that everything has gluten in unless it's in the free from section that specifically says gluten-free. And that did make me laugh. That did absolutely make me giggle. Right then, I'm using my W7 sheer loose powder. This is obviously from all my Shop My Stash that I'm using, but I'm going to try and let me just tip all of the excess into there. Right, I'm tipping all the excess into there because I'm going to try and lift the lid. How am I going to do this? Right. Oh, she was being considerate. It was so lovely because we were like, okay, thank you so much for thinking about me, but anything would have been fine. And like I'm okay without a pudding. I mean, Rufus were already like, "Oh, if she offers pudding, we won't have it because of being on diet." Right, right. So I've opened this up. I've taken the sifter off, and I am adding in, because this is too dark for me. This is too dark. It is quite a dark color. Lisa, do you still have the fruit and nut chocolate bar palette from Revolution? I do. Yes, I do. It's still sat down there behind me. I did a whole video on it on my retro review. Actually, if you look back recently on the Authentic Beauty channel, you'll find there's a whole review on it. So yeah, I do still currently have it. Right, I am putting in. Now this is something that when I went through my highlighter video, you'll see that I kind of went, "Oh, I've got a use for that." So this is the Collection. Oh, I'm not going to show up, is it? There you go. Collection Gorgeous Glow holographic highlighter. It isn't holographic. It is just a white powder. So I'm mixing some of this on my desk, because that'll be a really useful thing. Just pour it everywhere. Bloody hell. No, I'm mixing some of this in with my sheer setting powder by W7, because that setting powder is far too dark. Now, this is a trick that we used to do back in the days when I was on stage. We actually used to put talcum powder in with, so to get the perfect shade of setting powder, I used to use talcum powder and then crushed up bronzer. I know, right? I know. You're loving all the retro intros on my video, by the way. It does make me smile. Oh, I'm pleased about that. All of the videos now, all of the series have their own little intro thing. So yeah, they've all got their own intro. They've all got their own musical thing. They've all got their own ident, it's called. Because my background obviously is in, I did a lot of time on radio. Do you want to know what happened to Casey's part of the collab? Yes, I do. Casey, unfortunately, has had a family issue that means she hasn't been able to film that. So the videos that she's got going up at the moment are ones that have already been filmed. So she just had to edit those. She hasn't been able to actually do that yet. Oh, hang on. Let me have a look. But I do believe she's probably, I think she's still planning on filming it. To be honest, I don't know. We've kind of, because obviously, you know, family issues take precedence. So yeah. But yeah, I think everything's fine. Do you mean, right, Little Miss Budget. So there's two. Do you mean that one there that looks a little bit greenish? Do you mean that one? Because that is a grey. But I do understand why it looks a little bit different. So yeah, everything's okay, mate. Everything's fine. It's just, you know, there was a little delay in her filming it, and then because obviously me and Kirsty had to get ours up, it was a bit like, well, actually, you know, if you're not able to sort of get it up now, then don't worry about it. We'll just do it on next month's. So yeah, it just happens sometimes. You know, when you get sort of issues that come up, sometimes with the best of intentions, you intend filming, and then things get delayed, or something will happen, and you know, you get a filming day set to one side, and then your camera buggers up, for instance, or whatever it might be. So yeah, there's all sorts of things that happen like that. But again, because we film fairly close to the release dates, that's why I think that she wasn't able to just to get this one up. But there's no major problem. Everything's okay. Oh God, come on, you bugger! I'm trying to get this sifter out. Oh, wow. Trying to get the sifter out, and I've just broken me thingy. Right, so I'm just going to keep on sifting this. Little Miss Budget. Oh, hang on. Blah, 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 oh, yes. No, it's definitely a grey. Yes, definitely a grey. Your look went unexpectedly gothic yesterday. Wow. I know. It does look a little bit green. I can understand that entirely, why you thought that it was on the sort of green tinge. The Cosmetics palette has got a couple of those sort of grains, almost I want to call it, that sort of grey green. There's a couple in there as well that look, under one light looks one way, and under one light it looks another. Have I used all of this? No, I haven't quite used all of this. Right, I'm just trying to, this is the only way I can keep using this setting powder, you see. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So the more the merrier in terms of collabs and things. The absolute more the merrier. I would happily, I would happily say to you, Kelly, that if you want to do a, hang on, it's a good mix up. If you want to come and join us on the collabs, absolutely. I don't know what the next one is yet, but we've got an Instagram. Yeah, still, to me, that still looks really dark. That does look really dark. Maybe. Oh, I'm just going to go with it because it's the only one I've got here, and it is in the Shop My Stash. So technically, it's what I'm supposed to be using. Although I did say in the video that if something doesn't work for me, I would swap it out. But yeah, let me just. That's a lot of powder. Oh, breathing that in. Oh, that is dark. It is. It's in the shade Ivory, so it's the lightest one. But Kirsty had the same issue with this. So yeah, Anyway, I'm just going to use a small amount because, you know, on this channel, the only baking we do is in the kitchen with healthy snacks. On the other channel, the only baking we do is in the kitchen. I know, right? Sometimes I forget where I am. But I'm just using it just to really just set everything down. And hopefully it's not going to be too dark. But yeah, absolutely, Kelly. Come and join us on the collab challenges. The more, I mean, to be honest, it is literally the more the merrier, because the whole point of a collab. Oh, Jesus. Oh, Christ. Right. Well, this was the top I was going to be wearing out today. That might now not be the case. Right. Oh, my God. I'm absolutely covered. Right. We'll just see whether this will wipe off. I mean, I guess it's fine. If not, I'll just change my top before we go out. So that's not a major issue. But yeah, no, Kelly. Seriously, if you want to join us on the collabs, we'll be happy to have you with us. The whole point about the collab challenges is that it's literally. Oh, it's just come up. If anybody was wanting to know, Glastonbury Festival has been officially cancelled this year for the second year running. Well, me and Rufus have already said that for transmission, all of our budget, all of our money that we get in comes from Pride, and there's not going to be any Pride seasons this year either. So probably Corona will be the reason that our trans support organisation closes, because the likelihood is that we're just going to have no income, which is so sad. But like, I don't. Yeah, anyway, stuff. So yeah, Glastonbury's gone as well. Mandy Bloom, oh heck, you are funny. Oh, I don't intend to be. That was not a comedy moment. That was literally it just falling down my boobs. You know what I mean? Little Miss Budget, you're usually the one that does that. You see, you'd think after all these years, you'd think I'd know better than wearing black when I'm doing my face, or at least putting up like my makeup towel here as a bib to catch everything. I don't know. I blame W7's powder, although that doesn't actually look too bad. But I am going to do a little trick just because I'm going to use a couple of squirts. Oh no, let's use this one actually. I'm going to use the Double X Revolution setting spray misty thing just to kind of blend that in a little bit. Blend it in just to kind of set that down a little bit, but also just to kind of, I hope that the colour can sometimes, yeah, see that actually doesn't look too dark. I do think I need to lighten it up a little bit now. Lisa, got to go now, Lisa. Thanks for the live. Bye, everyone. Oh, bye, Lisa, my darling. I hope you're well. Don't forget Kirsty's live stream tomorrow evening at 8 p.m. UK time over on Making It Up. I'm back on Sunday on Authentic Beauty with my self-care Sunday. So lots of skincare and just generally a few giggles over there. And then back here next Thursday, 11 a.m. UK time, for our get ready with me to go food shopping and generally weight loss chat. I need a better name, by the way. Everybody in the chat, can you think of a good name? It needs to be something that I can kind of do my branding thing on. So part get ready with me, part get ready to lose weight with me, get ready. I don't know what we could call it. But yeah, I need a name. Please help, because my poor brain doesn't want to do anything anymore. Right, but yeah, anyway, Lisa Stafford, I will see you very soon. Have a lovely, 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 bloody lovely week. Happy slimming, if you are, and we will see you next Thursday morning, hopefully, if not beforehand. Do take care. Have a lovely, lovely week. Right then, so I'm using my e.l.f. palette. This is the one, again, from the Shop My Stash. You're going to get sick of seeing this month. And I think I want to go, talking about the greens, I think I want to use the greens from this palette, because I haven't used, oh, I've got green earrings. Have I? I've got gold earrings in. Bloody hell. Right, what do I want to use? Because this is quite a pretty palette. Although it's very kickbacky. Do we go muted greens? Yeah, go on. We'll do muted greens today. I haven't used the greens in this palette before now, so that'll be interesting. Right, so I'm going to take this this cream here as a eyelid setting spray, as an eyelid setting colour. Sorry, all over my mobile lid, like so. Just a little hint of yellow to it, which is fine. It's not a problem. It's not kind of buttery though. I don't know why I'm looking in that mirror. I've literally got one here. In fact, if I do that, I can see the chat. So there you go. So yeah, has everyone got any ideas as to what we could call this? Also, what has anyone got any ideas on what we should call all of you, like all of the lovely subscribers and followers and watchers? Because I would really like a sort of a squad name. You know what I mean? Like all the YouTubers do. You know, like Team 10, but that's a bit crap. And things like that. Yeah, so it's like I've been thinking about different names. Because in my head, it's like I always say the subbies. You're my subbies. But that's really crap. So yeah, has anyone got any names or like any thoughts of names for what we can call all of the lovely subscribers for this channel and even on Authentic Beauty as well? Because I would love to have a sort of like a fun little club name. You know what I mean? Authentic Bodies. Oh, Renata, the Authentic Bodies. That sounds more like another channel that I need to do, doesn't it? The Authentic Army. The Authentic Army. Oh, now that's good. Now I do like that. I really do like that. Any other suggestions, anybody? I know, right? I'm just getting you all to decide for me. I do like Authentic Army. What do we think in the chat? Authentic Army. Do you think that's a good one? I'll let me write it down actually. If I what colours am I going for today, Yaz? I am going for, I've got a slightly creamy colour that I'm putting down as my all over transition shade, which is this one here. And then there's two greens that I think I'm going to use in this palette. So this one here, which is like a lime green, and this darker one here. Authentic Slimmers. That's not bad either, Little Miss Budget. That's not bad either. Authentic Slimmers. Oh, Happy Slimming, Authentic Slimmers. The Truth Tribe. Oh, Kelly, that's good. I need to write some of these down. That's good as well. And then Yaz, what we're talking about, Yaz, is what I can call Authentic Army, Authentic Slimmers. What name I could use to call all of the Authentic Tribe. Authentic Tribe, yeah, that's good. The Truth Tribe. What name that we could use to refer to all of you, to everybody in the chat, so all of my subscribers, all of Authentic Bodies. I'll put that one down as well. Yeah, so that's what we're talking about, guys. So I know you're really like young and hip and trendy and all of that stuff, and down with the kids in it, boyakasha. So like that's going to be online forever. Jesus Christ, Lisa, what the hell are you doing? But you know what I mean? You're quite young and trendy and with it. So like, yeah, have you got a name? Can you think of something that I can call all of you? So when like collectively, because my subscribers just sounds really like a bit cringy. And like followers, I really hate because it sounds like that Monty Python Brian. You know, it's like, oh yes, we are all individual. It sounds a bit like that, doesn't it? So yeah. Anyway, I've got to say, after using this palette so much this week, I'm most definitely not young and hip, but thanks. Yeah, you are. Yeah, you are. Yeah, you are. You are. As far as I'm concerned, you're young and hip. In my head, you're young and hip, yeah. So, you know, that's fine. So let me know if you've got any ideas. and we will. I might even put it to a thing. Not everyone here is young, hip, or trendy. Yes, you are, Renata. You are at least one of those things. You've got to be hip and trendy to be here, because we're just a hip and trendy crowd, aren't we? We're all over the social media. I mean, the fact is, we're having this whole conversation over social media on a live stream on the net. So, lost life and looking good. What? Lost life and looking good. Ooh, lost. That lost bit is the bit that gets me, because that makes it feel like we're going to be talking about bereavement issues and things like that. But I do like alliteration, so I really do like that. Ticks a box neat. I think you're on there's a good feel there somewhere. There's a good kind of you're in the right ballpark. That's what I'm trying to say, love. So this green is not the greenest of greens ever, but yeah. Yes, I'll have a think, but I love that we're getting our own name. Oh, absolutely. And I want to do it across both of my channels, but also maybe on Kirsty's. I don't know whether Kirsty might want to do her own name or something, because obviously, whilst we've got a big crossover, we are still independent channels. You know what I mean? So I don't want to speak for Kirsty specifically, but I do. I've been thinking about this for a while, and I cannot come up with any names. And I'm normally quite good with branding and things, but I absolutely cannot come up with any names. It's really just, my brain is just not working that through at the moment. Right, I'm going to go for this darker one. Now, in the pan, it does look like a dark foresty pine type green, but it's also kind of got a bit of a blue tinge to it. Is it a satin? It might even be a satin. That is the thing with this palette. It's really hard to see which ones are the satins. Pounds off, war paint on. Authentic arsenal, in the sense we're like weapons to your army. That's interesting. That's interesting. I think arsenal. Oh, I don't know. Ooh. I've got to say, I think of all the ones so far in the chat, I think my favourite one is Authentic Army. That's really, I can see. I want camo print merch and everything for that. I can really see the Authentic Army, or AA for short. I think that might be trademarked, not just by us, not just by Alcoholics Anonymous, but also by the road people. The Blastic Bells. Oh, how about the Blendies? You're my Blendies. The Blastic Bells. I quite like the Blastic. Not sure about the bells, because we do have people of all genders here. So bells it would normally sort of think about sort of women, but we do have people of all genders here. So I'm not sure that that's kind of a. Why is that done? I don't know whether you can see, like on one part. Did I just not take it into the crease line? Maybe I didn't take it into the crease line. Why is it blended? I don't know. There's so much kickback on this palette. Literally, it's absolutely bonkers. I mean, I don't know whether you can see, or down here. The eyeshadow is now falling down on my boobs. The Blastic Beauties. I'll have a little think. I might put a poll up or something. There's a lot of kickback on my blooming face now. A lot of fallout. This is getting annoying. Oh no, don't use that. Don't use that. That's a blooming bronzing brush. Renata, no, don't like this army. Don't like the army. Reminds me of my father. Okay. The Blastic Bells sounds like we're in a cappella group in Pitch Perfect. It does. I hardly recognize. That gets me every time on TikTok. Every single time I'm on TikTok, I see people doing that, and it's something I do want to do. I'm going to do that at some point. You know that thing where it's like, I took a new world. I can't even remember the song, but I saw the sign, Ace of Base. I know it. But yeah, I love TikTok. Tell me, are you all on TikTok? Has everybody got TikTok yet? If you have, have a look for Authentic Beauty on TikTok, because I am on there and I do post, not every day, but I do post a lot. Let me know on TikTok, like or let me know if you're on TikTok. Do please add me, and like if you're doing TikToks, like send me them, because they're so funny. I have completely become hooked on TikTok. It's the most ridiculous thing. So Snapchat never really got into meh, but it's a bit like Minecraft. Okay, before lockdown 1, I was like, no, Minecraft is for kids. Who's going to want to go on that? The graphics are crap. We eventually downloaded it, or eventually got it, and now I'm addicted. And now it's the same with TikTok. We will sit there, and I even got Rufus into TikTok. This is how bad it's got. I literally got Rufus, like he'll sit there at night time, and I'll be like, that's a TikTok. He's playing a TikTok. Renata doesn't have TikTok. Yaz, I still don't have TikTok. I'm worried I'll spend my whole life on there. You will. You absolutely will, Yaz. That's the problem. It is incredibly addictive, but it's so much fun. It's so silly and so bizarre that it is just a lot of fun. Right. Do I have... I do. I have a gold shimmer. Right. I'm going to use this gold shimmer, this yellowy gold one here. The thing is with this palette, it's a bit meh. It's not really, there isn't anything majorly bright or outstanding in it. It's fine, you know, it puts a bit of wash of colour on your face, but there's nothing really that bounces for me. You do have a TikTok, but there's nothing on there for you. Afflicted, you have it but haven't made any. Oh, you need to make some. Kelly, you'll go down a storm on TikTok. You absolutely would. Scottish TikTok is like, it's a whole thing. Hashtag Scottish TikTok. If you type that in, look for it. There's a whole massive thing on Scottish TikTok with like TikTokers themselves that are Scottish, and it's just very, very, very funny. Very, very funny place. Little Miss Budget, you've got it, but there's nothing on there. Well, again, if you see any fun TikToks, like always, like let me know, or send me them, or tag me in them, or however you can do that. I don't know how that bit of it works, but do absolutely let me know, because we spend so much time now on TikTok. Thing is, we don't watch normal telly, right? So we don't have any way of watching normal telly. So we can't watch the BBC or ITV or any of that, because it's just crap. So we took all those channels off. So because we've taken all off, we only watch things that are like on Netflix or on right, I'm done with this palette. Am I done with this palette? No, I'm going to do my eyeliner. So we only watch things that are on Netflix or like Prime Video. So we're kind of limited as to a lot of the stuff that we watch by choice. But what that means is, like, we'll sit down and watch The Mandalorian, or we'll sit down and be like, do we watch some of The Crown? And we'll watch The Crown. So we don't just sit there and flick channels. So if we're wanting to do that flip channel, just like kill a couple of hours, we do TikTok and YouTube. So it's kind of, that instantly fell down my cheeks. So it's kind of one of those things where I think if you've got normal telly and you've got all the normal demands of normal telly and all of that, then it's something that you probably don't need. Like if you just like want to sit and watch some telly of an evening and just kick back and relax, then that's fine. But for us, because we don't sit back and just kick back and relax and watch normal random telly, oh, we'll see what's on next and not bother to change the channel type thing, then we just sit and watch a lot of YouTube and TikTok. But I also love over 50 TikTok or over 40 TikTok. I love the older ones on there that are like, you know, you thought this was just for kids. It's not. I'm here. I love all of that. I love all of that. Yes, I'll get it at some point, as so many of the YouTubers I watch are now on TikTok. Yeah, absolutely. I think that it's kind of, I think that for me, I wouldn't have probably gone on it had it not been the fact that everybody and their uncle are doing TikToks. And also it kind of is, so the way it's been described, right? YouTube is long form. Obviously, we're 2 hours into this, and I haven't even started wrapping up yet. You know what I mean? YouTube is a long form product, generally speaking, 10 minutes plus. Instagram is for aspirational stuff. So like Instagram is, look at this lovely bougie, look at this bougie, oh, look at this designer, look how designer my backdrop is, look, everything's so amazingly gorgeous and wonderful and filtered, and I look so young and fit. Twitter is for, oh my God, can't believe Costa just ripped me off by £3.50. Oh, I'm going to tweet them. Dear customer service at Costa, blah, 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 and gossip and oh, look at this. So Twitter's moaning. Instagram is aspirational. YouTube is long form. Snapchat is like whatever. I don't do Snapchat anymore. But TikTok is basically for people just to go on. You've got 60 seconds. Just be a numpty. Just do a little silly dance. And I was always like, oh my God, I'm going to have to learn like 15 new dances and I'm going to have to be picture perfect and, you know, on the moment and on the... No, you don't have to. You don't have to. And a lot of mine at the moment have been like literally like straight to camera talking or miming or whatever. But I've got lots of things planned. Lots of things planned for TikTok, which is a really bizarre statement to make, isn't it? Like this social media platform that I was absolutely probably quite scathing of a while back. I don't know why those are still in there. That was from my video the other day. Yeah, one of these platforms that I was probably quite scathing of. Again, in retrospect, maybe, but again, that's me, isn't it? That's me. Do you remember the whole thing about those makeup wipe things? I was like, what the hell is this? What a load of crap. And now I'm all over them. It's just me. It's just sometimes my first impression, but I'm also one of those people, I was going to say, sometimes my first impressions are very, very wrong, which is why I like to do things like with palettes and things. I like to use them for a little bit before I show them to you, rather than just do a first impression, because quite often I've been like, this is crap. And with the retro review stuff on the Authentic Beauty channel, the whole point of that is like, it's like, I thought this was crap. A year later, is it still crap? All of that. But yeah, I do quite like TikTok. I do find though that you get kind of down a rabbit hole and then you're stuck. So same types of people coming up on your feed. So it's a bit of an echo chamber, which is a little bit annoying because I do quite like, you know, it's the same with YouTube. I like YouTube to be lots of different people, to watch lots of different, go, oh, I'll watch this, I'll watch that, I'll watch this, I'll watch that. And actually YouTube starts funneling it down to the point where I get the same few creators and I'm like, I'm sure I'm subscribed to like hundreds of people. Why am I only seeing like the same 5 channels? So that can be a bit annoying, and TikTok can be a bit like that. Afflicted Beauty, I was thinking of doing a TikTok to insert into my next video. I actually watched for the second time after months of downloading. It's too addictive. It is so addictive. It is so addictive. You are absolutely right there, my darling. What am I looking for? Mascara. That's what I'm looking for. Right, that was from the challenge, so that isn't part of my normal kits. Right, those are. Right, I'm actually going to add some highlighter. There's me. Yeah, I am going to add some of this highlighter onto my eyelids. I'm going to add the... I think I'm going to add the rose gold one. Oh, bum. Oh, hold on. I dropped the thing here. Pounds off, face on, weekly catch up. Ooh. Wax on, wax off. Wax on, wax off. Oh, possibly, Nate. Possibly. There's something there. There's something. I know it's not quite there in my brain because my brain's not going, oh yes, there's a moment, and I know exactly when I've hit the kind of the thing. It's like with the other channel being called Beyond Authentic. It was the whole point about this is our authentic journey, and it's us as it's detailing our journey to where we're going and what we're doing and why we're losing weight and all of that. So that was kind of like a really big important thing. It's not just living authentically, it's beyond that. And then for the beauty channel, like, I'm not saying that I am the authentic beauty. I'm not saying that I am authentically beautiful. It was about, this is about authenticity within the beauty world. And because that authentic kind of came across, that makes sense to me. Do I like that now I've done it? I don't think I do. Bugger. Right, okay. Let's go in with the other highlighter, the Wet n Wild one. It's fine. I desperately want to go and pick out one of my gold, my yellow gold highlighters from the collection, but I'm not going to. Because this is the whole shop my stash limitation, isn't it? So I'm just using this one. You've lost a whole day on that. I have, absolutely. I totally agree with you. I have lost so much time on that, but it's like one of those things where if we're going to sit down and watch some Mandalorian or like WandaVision tomorrow, oh, I can't remember who said they enjoyed WandaVision. Yeah, it's amazing, amazing, absolutely amazing. Like we will plan time to sit down and watch that tomorrow, so that's cool. But what in terms of like in terms of TikTok, that's very much the whole. We've watched our telly, we've watched a film or whatever, we've had dinner, and then we're just kind of chilling in the evening. And that's when, like, both of us, because we've got, you know, me and Rufus aren't actually the same person. We're not actually joined at the hip, so we do have different tastes. So he'll watch some, and then he'll be like, "Oh my god, have you seen this?" And I'm like, "No, that's really funny." Or he'll be like, "Oh," I'll be like, "Oh, Rufus, you need to watch this. It's really, really funny." And because we're obviously funneled through different avenues on TikTok, they're kind of, depending on what we watch and things, they kind of take us in different routes. So we're kind of there's a lot of overlap, but there's also a lot of things that are very, very different. So I really like. Right then, so oh gosh, on the beauty channel we could be the authentic angels. Authentic angels. Oh, I quite like that. Does that? But then that would make me Charlie. And either that's like the name of a perfume, or a man's name, or it could be a woman's name, or gender neutral. I don't know. Little Miss Budget. I've only ever watched when I've been lying in bed before sleep, but have ended up awake until the stupid hours. Yep, that was me the other day. That was literally me the other day. 2 o'clock in the morning. Right, I'm just going to watch a couple of TikToks. 5 o'clock in the morning. I probably need to put my phone down. Yeah. That's the thing. That's the other thing, Nate. Like angels, really. Like, sorry, we're not angels. Most of us work for the other side. You know what I mean? Yeah. Right. I've just replaced that yellow with this highlighter over my mobile lid, and I do quite like that more. So I'm going for kind of like a white and green look. Oh, and yeah, I don't know whether to. I don't know whether to say anything about this or not. But hello, angels. Hi, Charlie. And then I need to get my Farah flick. Yeah, no, maybe not. Maybe not. So yeah, you're going to be seeing a lot less Jeffree Star on the channel over the next few weeks or months. All this drama that he's got himself back into again with Trisha Paytas, and all of the stuff that he's done, where he's like, Nicola Roman on there is so funny. Nicola Roman, Nicola Roman, Nicola Roman. The name rings a bell. The name absolutely rings a bell. But I can't think why. But yeah, all of the drama that is happening at the moment, I don't know whether people follow the drama with Trisha Paytas and Shane and Jeffrey and all of that, and Ryland, and the fact that basically, so if you don't follow it, this is like the budget version. This is my cut down budget version of what's happened. Okay, so again, in my opinion, allegedly, Trisha apparently was invited to go by Jeffree Star to Las Vegas last year on just a trip, like a little holiday. She'd just come off a major drug binge, so she was like trying to kick the drugs again because she's, you know, had drug issues in the past. So she was, you know, that was fine. But so she went to Vegas, and they were like, so Jeffrey paid for the private jet that he was hiring anyway, and then paid for her hotel. So, so yeah, that was that. Nicholas Roman, a bald guy. I think I have Little Miss Budget. If not, I'll write down the name. In fact, I'll write down the name now, and I will check him out. So yeah, basically, Trish went on this trip. Nicholas Roman. Trish went on this trip, and basically she did things like she bought a Balenciaga handbag, no sweatshirt, and like had it delivered up to Jeffrey's room because they were all out. Basically, it got put in the trash. Jeffrey's assistant put it in the trash, and then trash. We can't find it. We don't know what it is, and it's a $900 sweatshirt. But they then basically, because she didn't go clubbing with them, they spent a lot of time taking the piss and basically saying that she was fat and she was ugly and she had bad skin and that, you know, she was poor because she rented her house. You know, I mean, she rents a mansion. You know what I mean? It's not like a small house. She rents like a 5-bedroom, whatever it is, house. It's not like a small place that she was living in. And basically, all of this was kicking off. And so she ended up going home early. Where's my growl thing that I had. It's in there. So she ended up going home early and paying for a flight home and all the rest of it. And then, so it's all kicking off at the moment, all over the social medias, because she then bought some wigs from Jeffree Star's wig person. And hang on, let me just do my brows. And basically, she bought these wigs and he overcharged her. And so that's all gone, that's all kind of kicked off. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So yes, as I saw the Jeffree stuff, feels like he loves all the drama. I'm not a fan of hers, but it's horrible how they treat her. Yeah, I'm not a major fan of Trisha Paytas. Like she's in a lot of drama. She can be quite problematic. She's had a lot of mental health issues and things over the years, which she talks openly about, and she does. You know, she's trying to get help for, which is a good thing. And like she famously did a video where she claimed to be transgender, and that she felt like a male. She's since talked a lot about gender issues, and everything she said totally rings true from obviously the field that I've been in for a lot of years. Totally rings true as somebody who is genuinely struggling with their gender identity. But because of the way she does things, basically, if people don't accept her, she'll then take things to the like she'll then take things to for shock value. And she did that. Same when she was talking about being borderline personality disorder. People were like, "Oh, you don't have that because you don't, you don't have ulcers, and you don't come on saying that you're this character and that character." And so people basically were judging her for her own mental health. And I've got to say that, I was a bit okay. What's this whole trans thing about? Because it's a bit odd coming from Trisha. But then when you actually talk, see her talking, I think she's genuinely got some issues. But on this trip, basically they all belittled her, bullied her, everything else. And then recently on Facebook, on Twitter or Instagram Live, I think it was, like this guy that she bought wigs from made this whole thing slagging her off, saying that he was going to kill her, he was going to do this, that, and the other, like majorly aggressive, like beyond aggressive. And Shane and Ryland stayed silent. But what's come out for all of this is that lots of people have said, yeah, Jeffree did say that, and Jeffree was part of it, and Jeffree was really nasty, and he was really vindictive, and he was like taking the piss and saying about somebody that was suicidal, saying, "Oh, there's a balcony there, just jump off." And it's like all of these things that keep coming out about Jeffree. For years, I've been like, right, okay, I can kind of separate the name of the person from the company and the products. But it's getting to the point where it's like, do you know what? I can't keep supporting someone who is so problematic and so just a nasty piece of work. And it's really heartbreaking because the products, the actual makeup that he makes or that his company make, I think, hang on, I think are really good products. But I also have to think ethically for me, I can't support somebody who has, like, I could never support Trump, regardless of what he did. If Trump made the most amazing, say Trump makeup came out and it was the most amazing makeup in the world and it was the most wonderful formula and the shimmers were amazing, everything was amazing, every palette was just chef's kiss. I could not support that because I can't support him. And it's a little bit like that now where I am with Jeffree Star. I've tried to separate my feelings about Jeffree as a person to the makeup, but I'm kind of where I don't think I can do that much anymore. And I think that I just need to kind of go, do you know what? I'm kind of done, and I'm done with Jeffree, which is kind of really bad. But I do think eventually we'll get to the point, a bit with Kat Von D, where Jeffree will probably leave the brand at some point, and it will get rebranded as JSC or whatever. And then we'll all be able to buy it again. Or that won't happen, and none of us will buy it. But anyway, all of that to say that I don't think I'm going to be getting the Valentine's mystery box. And I don't think I'm going to be using much of the Jeffrey products on this channel overly. It's like I'm not going to completely cancel him because I've bought those products. I like the quality of the products. I really do like the quality of the products that I have. I don't feel the need to buy any more. I think it's kind of what I'm going to. I kind of think that's actually, as I'm talking to you now, I think that's where I'm drawing the line. Is that I like the products I have. I like the quality of the products I have. I don't need to buy any more and support this person any further. It doesn't mean that I can't, it doesn't mean that I will stop anybody else from buying them or that I will make any comments about anybody else buying them. But equally, I won't be, it's a really hard one, isn't it? Because I won't say I won't be promoting the brand, but if I use any of those products, then arguably I'm promoting the brand. So I think there might be a few less Jeffrey Star products on this channel or on the Authentic Beauty channel moving forward. Let me know what you think down in the comment section. I can see Anita's comment, and I can see yours, Yaz. I think we've all grown a lot more effective on what brands we buy, etc., and the ethics behind them. Absolutely, Anita, I agree. I wouldn't buy products from a company that I wouldn't buy products from a company with bad ethics, despite the quality. So why purchase a person with bad ethics? But this is the thing, you see. This is the thing. If you are somebody who genuinely cares about the ethics behind the products you buy, then you've also then got to question all of the brands that you use, because all of the brands have problematic elements. When you get to like the largest companies, like the Yves Saint Laurents and the Max Factors, all the ones that are owned by big parent companies, they all do shitty stuff, all of them. And it's about where you draw the line. It's like at the end of the day, everything we buy is overpriced powder or liquid or gel with some sort of colouring that we put on our face. It's all overpriced. It all costs pennies to make on the pound that it's sold on. So we know that. But it's just about where we place our future sort of spending habits, really. And for me, I think it's about, and again, I'm very much free-forming this as I'm thinking, because Kat Von D got cancelled because of all of her anti-vaxxer and her anti-Semitism and, Nazi tattoos and all of the things that she got cancelled, her brand got cancelled for. Kelly, your phone died. I've never looked into all of the drama. I guess I see the brands as a separate entity to the personality. And that's a fair point as well. I agree 98% of brands have had their issues at some point in the chain. Absolutely, they do. They really do. And it's just about whether the difficulty is, right? Let's have a look. So, Makeup Revolution, brand I love. I love Revolution. Makeup Revolution have been accused of copying, have been accused of literally robbing, effectively, allegedly, but stealing Manny MUA's design independent company come along, big massive company, steal his design for his components. Is that ethical? Should I then cancel Revolution for doing that? Arguably. Every brand has got their issues. Elf is selling itself now as vegan and cruelty-free. For most of their products, they are. For some of their products, they're not. They're not expressly saying that all of their products, which products aren't vegan. They kind of are, but they're not. But there's a whole thing of, they're jumping on this vegan cruelty-free bandwagon because that's where the market is going. But it all depends on kind of which of the products are sold in China, because some are and some aren't, and some are, tested potentially and some aren't. So again, it's all about all of that, isn't it? And it's about every single brand that I've got in here would have issues. And do they pay their staff well enough? Hi, Robin. Hi, my love. I've got your video on my list to watch. I've only just seen that it went up. I've got to say, I love the hair. Absolutely love the hair. Yes, I think a lot of it depends on what they've done. Morals vary so much from person to person, so it depends on what level you class stuff, I guess. I agree with that. There was also something about asbestos in the Revolution palette at one point. Yes, right, now asbestos, this is something which I've looked into on a lot of things. Yes, there was asbestos in a Revolution product, allegedly. But there was also asbestos in Claire's makeup. There is actually, probably, allegedly, asbestos in a lot of things that we don't know about and we aren't aware of. So everything from talcum powder that you use when you get out of the shower or you put on your baby's bum has potentially got some asbestos in. It depends on the amount, because where they mine the talc from, there is asbestos in the same sort of areas in some places, and it all depends on where those products come from. So yeah, there is a risk of that. I think the more that we know about where products come from, the more we can make those decisions about risk factors and everything else. But yeah, I do think, in all honesty, I do think there are, there are risks of things like that. And I think it depends on how the brand deal with that. Claire's Accessories got into a lot of trouble because they were like, oh, there's asbestos in our products. And then people said there was asbestos in their products. And then they basically were like, oh, well, oh, there isn't. Oh, well, before they eventually got forced to recall them. It's all about, for me, how those brands deal with issues, because you're always going to get issues. I talk enough on the internet. There's probably things I've said that could be classed as problematic. I would hope that if I say something that somebody then makes me aware, if I've said something that's problematic, that I'm aware of it, and I can make an apology, or I can look at it and revisit what I've said. So, there's always going to be things that come up. It's not about when mistakes are made, it's about how those mistakes are handled with. Now, again, it's the same with Jeffrey for all of the racism stuff. And I didn't give him a free pass, but I believed that he was over that. I believed that it was done for shock value, and I believed it came from a place of being a victim of abuse many times over from people attacking him, and for it coming out in those ways. And a lot of the historic stuff, I think it had been addressed. All of this new stuff shows me who he is now, and that's why I'm choosing not to support him now. But again, it's that thing of Kelly, the same with cruelty-free brands. The specific brand may be cruelty-free, however, the parent company may not be. Exactly. Robin, that's absolutely fine. I will watch your video. Go and have a look at Strange Presence's channel, everyone, because the video, the hair and the makeup looked amazing. And I literally saw the first couple of seconds of the video, and then I think I crapped out and fell asleep. I had like a couple of videos to watch. A beauty glaze palette was reported to have asbestos in. Yeah, absolutely. And again, the thing is, it could just be that batch or that particular set of ingredients has a small amount of asbestos in, but because it's so stringent, because obviously asbestos is a big no-no, on the testing, a tiny amount comes up and gets flagged, quite rightly so. If that brand have basically gone, okay, pull that item, recall it, don't use it, then that's fine. The issue I have are things like with Jacqueline Hill, and I can't personally support Jacqueline Hill because of the whole thing with her lipsticks, and then, is she actually owned by Morphe and all of that. When her lipsticks came out, she should have said, there is something wrong with this batch. I don't understand what it is. I will recall them, refund you all, and we will investigate. That's what she should have done. She didn't, and a lot of people still never got their refunds. So yeah. Hang on, everyone. That's the front door going. Bear with me. Intermission time. Grab a quick drink. I'll give you 2 seconds. Oh God, falling over. Ooh! Very annoyed. But anyway, Kelly, there are so many issues with sourcing materials. Micropigments being one. It's hard to know how ethical a brand is without full transparency. Exactly. Lumos Budget. There's been problems with recent highlighters too. Hairs have been found with them. I know. I saw that on the Jacqueline stuff. I saw that. Yeah, I did. Lumos Budget. Kelly, I won't purchase any beauty glaze after that. It's, to be honest with you, right? The beauty industry is such a multi-billion dollar industry now, such a worldwide industry, that there's always going to be issues with supply and ingredients hitting the supply chain. That's always going to happen, right? We, as a consumer, we would all be totally stupid if we thought that every single product we buy is totally, utterly safe of everything, always 24/7. But okay, Robin. But it's literally, there is always going to be an issue, which is why in the food standards industry you are allowed a certain amount of insect parts in bread, because there will be, in the wheat that they're growing to make the flour, there will be the odd bug. Now it sounds disgusting, but that will happen from time to time, and if that bug gets ground into a whole big mass amount of flour, then there will be a tiny little particle of that bug in that loaf of bread, and there is a certain allowance that is allowed by the food standards people, and it is like literally like one, like, I don't know, say 100 of a wing per something, whatever it is. And that's because it is unrealistic to expect that throughout the entire food chain that something doesn't get in somewhere. Does it affect safety? No. Does it affect veganism? Potentially. Does it affect your health? No. The thing is, with the cosmetics industry, there isn't that same oversight. There isn't that same kind of regulation in place. Now, obviously, things should be safe, but a Revolution palette, this just says to me, I mean, this on the ingredients, it probably is on the ingredients. If I peel this label back, it would give me the ingredients, but it doesn't tell me the source of the mica or the talc. It doesn't tell me the source of this, that, or the other. And you've got to go on trust that actually this particular product is safe. And 9 times out of 10, they are. 99 times, 99.9 recurring times, they are. But you will get that very occasional thing where something creeps through. And for me, it isn't about trying to stop that 1 in a million thing that creeps through. It's about how you deal with it when it does. If they full recall, blah, 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 open and transparent, look, something in the ingredient list has come through all of our rigorous checks and it still made it through, and actually we just for the safety, we're going to recall this item or replace this item, or, you know, if it's an eyeshadow, you can pop that pan out and replace it with this pan, whatever it is. That's a good way of doing it. If they just shut down like Jacqueline Hill did, with when her lipsticks were bad and also with the highlighters, if they just shut down, then at that point it's like, do you know what, that's not a brand I can trust, that's not a brand that I appreciate. Now, Little Miss Budget, you did talk about Beauty Glazed. Beauty Glazed is that brand, isn't it? That are they the, am I thinking of Beauty Pie or Beauty Glazed? Is Beauty Glazed the one that's on, you can buy it a lot on Amazon and Wish and places? Because I love my budget makeup. You know that. You all know that. You all know, like, I've got my whole drawer of budget makeup. I love it. Beauty Glaze is not a brand I will fuck with, because they are, it is right. Yeah, that is the one. So basically, that is a brand that I don't trust that you can produce those products for those prices. And because of that, I don't trust that they have that same rigorous checking. And it's like, we earlier on we were talking about sort of food and Slimming World meals and all of that. Now, if you're buying a ready meal and it's a £4, £5 ready meal, and then you go somewhere else and they've got a ready meal that's 50p or a pound. Bye, Mandy. I'm going to be wrapping up soon, so you won't miss much. I'm literally just going to finish, whack on a colour and then go. So if you've got one here that's like £4 or £5 and you've got one here that's a pound, which is the one that's probably going to have a higher quality ingredient? Not always, but which are going to be the ones? and you're probably going to find that there's more processed stuff and less quality ingredients in the item that is made for less money. And it's going to be the same with the makeup. It's like, I like W7, I like Revolution, I like my Wet n Wild, Technic. Those bigger brands, I would hope, again, it's taking a lot on trust, isn't it? I would hope that they have a more rigorous safety standard and checking than people like Beauty Glaze, because Beauty Glaze, I don't know where that comes from. I don't know how that is produced. I don't know anything about it. I know, and because it's sold online, like there are rules that you have to, like trading standards and things, you have to kind of go by in the UK to be able to sell your products. So there are minimal levels of quality that you should be held to. I don't know if that same minimum quality is on Amazon, put it that way. I forgot what it was called then. Yeah, so I don't know if there is that same level of quality checks. I don't know, and because of that, there's a few brands that are on Amazon that I won't check out, just because, for those reasons. But you know, again, this is down to my personal choice, and it's one of those things that I think we've all got to make those personal choices in our purchasing habits. Obviously, you all know my Authentic Beauty channel is a low buy channel this year. I am trying to use up products that I already have, but even then, you know, there will be things that I need to replace or need to rebuy over the year. It just all depends on how I how I want to and what companies I want to use. Now, obviously, currently, my plan up until fairly recently was to buy the Jeffree Star Valentine's mystery box. Now, with everything that's happening, that isn't something that I've just seen. I've got a blooming yellow highlighter that I could have used in my thing. Never mind. But with the where's the? Oh yes, I was just about to say, did I not have a contour color? But yeah, of course I've got the contour palette. But yeah, so you know, that is something which I'm now genuinely probably not going to buy. Genuinely probably, you know, right? Because of everything that's happening. So does that mean I'm going to go and buy a load more products from another brand because I've got that money sort of put to one side? Well, to be honest with you, no. But also maybe yes. So I'm not going to go and spend willy-nilly just for the sake of it, just because I'm like, oh, well, I was going to buy £100 worth of Jeffree Star products, so now I can go and buy £100 worth of whatever. Because the whole point of the low buy isn't about finances, it's about the number of products I have in my collection. But there are a couple of palettes from some indie brands that I'm thinking I might put that money to one side and maybe have a look at later on. Yes, it is. Yes, it is, Robin. It's all of the latest stuff that's coming out, not only with Trish, but with just the way that he's been. Like Oscar Wilde did a video and talked about it, and there's more and more evidence keeps coming out that he's just a reprehensible human being, and it's so heartbreaking because the makeup I adore, but the person I can't support anymore. So yeah, I will. Basically, I think I've made a decision that I'm not going to buy any more products. I am just going to be using up the products that I have from him and then finding alternative companies. So bizarrely, KVD. So you know. Anyway, yes, I've also been wondering whether Jeffree and Beauty Bay may part ways soon, as they've been heavily discounting a lot of his stuff lately. They have. I have noticed that as well. I don't know what the arrangements are. I remember when Jeffree made a whole load of videos about saying that his product would never be on, basically in TJ Maxx over there. And then, of course, they have. And it's all of that. It's like, I don't know. I just think that, you know, hang on, let's have a look. Big brands have spent more money developing their formulas, sourcing quality ingredients, etc. The other brands are generic formulas or cheap imitations, often bordering on dangerous. This is the thing with fake makeup. When you get fake makeup and you've got on the back it says your ingredients list, it's fake. So the makeup is fake. So all of those ingredients are fake. And so, yeah, that's something as well to bear in mind. Same with Beautylish doing a buy one, get one free deal on palettes. Yeah, exactly. I think, well, you say that on Beautylish, there was an interview done with the CEO of Beautylish, who basically, they were asking her, why do you stock Jeffree stuff? And she basically said, because he sells, because he is like their number one brand on the website. I would say it's probably the same on Beauty Bay, that whether it's volume or price, they sell a bucket load because Jeffree kind of hits, like, the quality of the products is good, but because he's got the social media presence and he hits across the age ranges, and because he's always in the sort of public eye, there's a lot of people that buy those products. A lot of people see them, and a lot of people who necessarily who are after quality makeup won't care or won't be on the social media and the drama channels, and so a lot of people literally won't see what goes on, which is fine, and that's perfectly fine. But I don't know whether Beauty Bay will drop in, because look at how many people were messaging Beauty Bay when Blood Money came out, and they were like, I can't get my hands on it. There is a demand. I think this is actually part linked in with JSC to move product, because I think that their sales are down. All makeup company sales are down. We know that because many people aren't buying as much makeup because they are. Yeah, Robin. See again. I think I think they are getting rid of product. That's all I think it is. I think they're trying to move product because of lockdowns, because of COVID. People aren't wearing as much makeup, they aren't using as much makeup. And the same reason that we're getting so many spa-based skincare products in all of our makeup boxes, that's the reason why, allegedly, in my opinion, that's the reason why all those products are getting shifted over to subscription boxes, because sit on a warehouse, go out a day, or at least get some money for them. And I think it'll be the same thing as all of Jeffree's palettes. It's literally just a case of I don't think it is, Kelly. I don't think he is actually. I don't think it's discontinuing some products to make room for new ones. I think it's just moving products. When you think about the industry, when you think about how many millions of pallets normally gets, or hundreds of thousands of pallets, whatever, get sold. When you watch that the Shane and Jeffree documentary, there were so many, or advert, whatever, there were so many products in such high volumes that they were expecting that to continue. So there's a whole manufacturing process behind the scenes that is making those products, that is doing all of that. So there's so many products being produced that if the numbers sales drop down, which they have done in COVID, then you then get a backlog. So all of those stuff is still coming through on the chain. You can cancel an order, like of a new supply, but then you've still got 6 months worth of pallets sat there that you haven't sold. So what do? You can't sit there in a warehouse, because then you get the Jacqueline Hill issue where stuff goes off. So you literally then just get them out there, get rid. And it's better to get, don't forget the retailers. So basically, when I used to work in and run a shop, you bought something for £1, you would sell it for £2.70, £2.35. So there was a 2.35 markup on it, because at that time VAT was 17.5%. But these days it would basically be a 2.4 markup. So you buy something for £1 and sell it for £2.40, because 40 pence of that was VAT, and £1 of that then was profit. So whatever you bought, you would basically look at, right, the retail, and normally that £1 item would retail for £2.99. So you would get a little bit more profit, take your VAT off, and then that's what. So if you look at that in terms of Beauty Bay are buying in a product that they are probably paying for a Jeffree Star palette that's 53 quid, £52. They're probably paying about £25 a palette. The rest of that is their markup. So across the board, it's kind of like yeah, so I guess Beauty Bay are also doing a lot more of their own brand palettes, exactly. So possibly have less emphasis on Jeffree's, etc., and clear stock. It's possible, but you don't see the same. For Beauty Bay branded products online as you do for Jeffree Star. Jeffree Star is a high-end product. It's a high-end product that crosses the border, crosses the boundaries of branding. So it hits the younger market because it's fashion. It hits the alternative and the sort of the drag market, which a lot of the beauty world, you know, a lot of gay men will use Jeffree Star products partly because Jeffree's a gay man, but also partly for the drag and the heavier look makeups. All of that ticks that box, but it also ticks the boxes of like professional makeup artists because of the quality, and also because of the price point. It's in the same sort of bracket as ABH. So across all of those ranges, it hits. So the fact that we're talking about it on a channel where we've got people in here of all ages, the fact that it is literally, we're all aware of the brand and the products and the launches and all of that, means that this particular brand is hitting all of us. Now the thing is, lockdown has affected the makeup industry so much. Like, they have lost billions in the last year, billions across the board, because everybody used to be like, right, I need a new lipstick, I'm going to wear a new lipstick, going to do this, and then all of a sudden we can't wear lipstick because it rubs off. There is a reason why so many advent calendars this year had so much lip items in, because they had the stock, they had to shift it, and that's just marketing, that's just business. And at the end of the day, you've got all of this, you've got a worldwide pandemic. If you cut off sales worldwide, I know from my own buying, and I know from everybody else's, from people that have said, like, you haven't bought a lot of makeup this last year. I know that, I know some people have, but I know the majority of people have just cut back a little bit on their spending, or they've maybe bought less lipsticks or less of this. And hang on, maybe a trade issue due to Brexit too. They stopped selling Juvia's too, didn't they? Juvia's, they stopped. That won't be anything to do with the fact that it's an American brand. Juvia's will be because of other deals they've got with other companies, and probably it will be down to the fact that they didn't like the percentages or something. Or it just wasn't selling enough units. It'll be something like that. It will be something like that. Rather than, I don't think Brexit and trade deals will actually have that much effect now that there is kind of a deal in place. I don't think that will have that much effect, to be honest with you. But I do think it is just the fact that people are not buying as much makeup. And because you're not buying as much makeup, things are sitting on shelves and in warehouses. And the thing is, a 25% cut down on sales would equate to a massive amount. When these brands are selling hundreds of thousands of units of palettes, say 100,000 units, right? 100,000 units, or say 50,000 units. To drop off by if you sell 50,000 units in a year, and then last year you sold 25% less of that, you've got a warehouse with 12,500 pallets sat in a warehouse. You've then got this year's palettes that are coming on board with the new designs and the new releases. What are you going to do with that 12,500 that's sat there? And the thing is, if there isn't the demand because his brand is being cancelled online, and there isn't the demand because there's a global pandemic, and there isn't the demand because with Orgy and Cremated, and for me personally, Bloodlust, I didn't like those palettes. They didn't hit my, I need to buy that. All of those products are then just collectively being added to warehouses, which they've got to pay for storage, and it's blocking up the mechanisms like to get it out there to push products. It's due to lockdown. We're all a lot more conscious of the cost of things. So getting a JSC palette for £26 creates a buzz. So I imagine they sold a shed load when they did it. Yes, it does. And there will be now new people that have got a a blood sugar palette. The same for them being in the mystery boxes, for the higher end palettes. It's the first time I've ever seen, blue blood and blood sugar being in mystery boxes. So yeah, people do get a good deal. As you say, Kelly, yeah, it's a good deal. People do get a good deal, but also they aren't reducing that price down out of the goodness of their hearts. They're really not. They're not doing it to create a buzz. They're doing it to get rid of product, to move product. Because the worst thing you can do, and I kind of know this from Transmission's perspective, because we do a lot of selling over Pride season. I've got stuff in my shed and there's stuff in storage in another place as well, which is just sat there earning us no money. I need to get some more flypaper in here. Earning us no money, literally just sat there. And that at the moment, it might as well be costing us. I mean, technically, it's not costing us any money because, you know, it's in a shed and it's in another storage place, which I aren't paying for. But if we were paying for a storage unit, those products would be sat there in a storage unit, which we are paying for, not earning us any money, literally depreciating as time goes. And if it's a product that's consumable, a product that is going to go off like makeup does, then you've got even more of a time crunch. So you've got products that are sat in a warehouse that you're paying to store that aren't being moved, that aren't earning you any money, that are also potentially starting to go off, and they've got, you know, days where they're going to go over. And you need the space because you've got new products that are going to be coming to market and that you want to push the next big thing. It's always going to get, you're always going to get companies. Why do you get a January sale? Because everybody buys all the stuff that they think they're going to sell in December. They buy too much and then they're left with that product. They need that gone off the shelves to get new stuff in, so they get rid of it. And that is always going to be the case. That is just consumerism and selling. And so when you're talking about makeup items, that is literally, that's why all of that happens. It is literally just because they're sat in a warehouse costing money to store instead of being out in, you know, Jeffrey's palette doesn't cost anything for me to store in my drawer. It does cost him money to store it in his warehouse. But yeah, Kelly, I'm very aware of the time, everybody. Thank you so much for staying around, by the way. I'm really loving the chat today, but I do need to go because we do need to go shopping soon. Kelly, it means people are more likely to buy more on site when they're on there too. Exactly. And it has also, there's like loss leaders. So I don't know whether you know about loss leaders. A loss leader is basically a product where you sell it for less than it costs you to make, but you do it because you know people are going to buy other items or they're going to come to that store. So Jeffrey doing, you know, everybody that bought one of those pallets, there's a mindset, isn't there, of, oh, well, I got this pallet for £26, so I might as well pick up a second one as well. £26, they are still making profit on those pallets. They are still making profit. Even at £26, they are still making profit on that pallet. So it's less profit, but they're still in the black. So the fact that you've then bought a second pallet, they're making more profit off you. Not as much as they could have done, but they're shifting off stock. They're shifting stock out of the warehouse. They're making space for new product. They're earning a profit. A loss leader basically is a product. Let's say they've got, I don't know, say they've got a new lip gloss and they sell it as an introductory offer for $6 and it actually costs $10 to make. Well, the idea is you go onto that line, you buy it, you go, oh, $6, oh, I'm going to buy that. You buy it, but you go, oh, while I'm here, to get free shipping or to get this or to get that, I'll pick up another one. Oh, I need a concealer, I'll pick that up as well. And, oh, look, there's 10% off this, I'll pick that up as well. So the loss leader at $6 has got you onto that site or into that shop. But what it's then done is meant that you've then bought more items and they've generated more sales overall. So the fact that you get a discount, it's the same thing with like £25, spend £25 to get free shipping. If your shipping is £3 and you only want to buy a concealer, it's probably more cost effective just to buy your concealer and pay your shipping than it is to buy your concealer at £7 and then go, right, okay, if I spend another £18, I get free shipping. The company don't give a toss. They just want the money. But you've gone online to buy an £8 or £7 concealer and you've ended up spending £25, £26. Generally speaking, you also, I don't know whether you, like other people do this, if I go and do that and like it's £25 or £30 to get my free shipping, I'll end up spending 27 or 28 or 35 or whatever the amount is a bit above. So all of that, if I've spent £35 to get my free shipping, all right, I've saved £4, but I was only intending on buying a £7 concealer, and I spent £35. What? It's very, very clever. Marketing and all of that is so clever. Kelly is guilty of that. I know you are. Yes, you are very guilty of that. Yaz, would people have bought them if not on sale? Definitely not. So it seems win-win for all involved. Customers feel like they got a bargain, and Beauty Bay make money and clear stock. Absolutely, it is a win-win. It absolutely is a win-win. It also, as you said, it also puts those products in other people's hands, which means people will be making YouTube videos about Blood Money, Blue Blood, whatever the other palettes were, Bloodlust, whatever the ones that were on discount, which are older palettes, which then means that, oh, hang on, why is there lots of blood sugar palette reviews going up? Maybe I'll do a blood sugar review. You know what I mean? It kind of regenerates hype for older palettes. So there's lots and lots and lots of reasons from sort of marketing and selling perspective on those, as well as the fact that it gets rid of stock. That's one of the reasons why I love like January sales or Black Friday sales. I love all of that. Although at the end of the day, this year I've been really mindful and really cut back because I don't need anything. For next year, I'll see sort of where I am in terms of products and things. But yeah, it's a whole massive, massive thing. Kelly, yes, I need to have free shipping. Well, this is it, you see. I'm using currently at the moment, I'm using my Dr. Botanicals Cocoa Noir Time Reverse Facial Serum, and I'm loving it. This is a £45, £54.99 product, and I'm getting it for £4.99 because I'm on the Dr. Botanicals site as a tester. And so this is costing me £4.99 postage and packing. I don't mind paying the postage and packing because I'm getting a £54 product, you know what I mean? So from that perspective, I don't mind paying P&P. But also I think that for a lot of us, it's like in the UK, we're not used to paying P&P. We're used to free P&P, or we're used to like going into shops. It's only fairly recently that for a lot of us, that has been a thing. Whereas in the States, when you have to add on tax in your brain, you kind of get used to it being, that's $30 plus your 10% or your 12% tax, which I'll add on at the end, and my shipping's added on at the end. Whereas in this country, we're used to seeing, this is the price, $9.99, that's how much I pay. So you go into shop, you buy that for $9.99, that's it. So it's one of those things that we're used to doing. We're used to seeing a price and paying that price. So anything above that is a bit like, well, that says $9.99. I want it for $9.99. You should send it to me for free. So yeah, there's lots of things around that as well. There's, again, lots of marketing things around that. Strange presents. I've been working on the free shipping thing because my mindset was always, I'd rather spend that money and get a product than spend that money on shipping, which means I spend more than I should. Exactly. Little Miss Budget, your way of thinking, if shipping is £3 and I have to spend 20 to get free shipping, but my order is 18, I am likely to spend the extra, so I have another product and free shipping. Exactly, but this is the thing. This is why they also set it at like 20, 25, £30, is because if you just need to pop on and buy a new eyeliner, you'll probably wait or until you get like, oh, I'm not just going to buy the eyeliner, I'll also get a foundation and a brush or whatever. So they do wait for you to do that. Yeah, as you bought something yesterday, nearly spent another £10 to get free shipping when it was only £3 anyway, but thought, why am I looking for stuff I don't need to save £3? Exactly, that is the thing. Yaz, my darling, you have said it absolutely. You have banged that nail on the head. You have hit it on the nose 100%. The key word there is, why am I looking for stuff I don't need to save £3? If you're placing an order and you can kind of go, like for a lot of the stuff that like the skinny syrups and things, right? Issues, but anyway, the skinny syrups. If you're spending £25 and you go and your free shipping is at 30, and adding in another syrup at £6 is going to take you over that, and you're like, well, I'm going to use it anyway. It's just going to be, you know, instead of buying it now, instead of buying it in like a month's time, I'm buying it now. It's going to sit in the cupboard. It's fine. That makes sense. If, however, you're only buying one product for £6 and you're like, oh, if I spend another 24, I can save £3. That's when you start going, is that worth it? In reality, is that worth it? You know, at the end of the day, and then I start thinking, well, I'm going to wrap this up. We're just getting to the 3-hour mark, so I'm going to wrap this up very, very soon. But there's also that thing of, in my head, I think free shipping is a rip-off. But then, I mean, obviously now Rufus drives and I'm with Rufus, but beforehand, if I had to go to a shop and pick something up, I would get my shopping and get a taxi home or get a bus home. The bus would cost me £2.70. The taxi would cost me £6. So, like in my head, oh, if I get an Asda order delivered and it costs me £3.50 to get an Asda order delivered, that's still about the same money I would have spent on a bus and less money than I would have spent on a taxi, and it's a lot easier for me. You know what I mean? So sometimes I just think actually spending that £3 packaging or whatever, or the postage or the delivery fee is actually kind of worth it. But again, I do agree, if you are spending £18 and your free postage thing is 20, then yeah, it makes sense. Add another product in that add something in that you're going to use all the time. So add a staple in. That way you know that you're getting your money's worth and you're then saving that £3. So if there's something you were going to buy next month anyway, like a mascara, so mascara you kind of need to replace every so often. So you kind of go, right, okay, I've got my order and it's £25, but free delivery is at 30. I don't need anything else. Actually, my mascara is starting to dry out. So I'll buy another mascara, which I probably will buy next month anyway. But if I buy that now, it gets me my free shipping. So actually that saves me a little bit of money. And it means I don't have to then place an order next month, which will then mean that I might be sort of coerced into spending more money next month as well. Anyway, that is why they do it after a minimum spend. It's because they basically do the whole look, spendy, 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 spendy. That's why they do it. They do it because it does cost money to ship stuff out, but also they do it because it's a way of tricking you into spending more money. But yeah, it's all about the psychology of shopping, which is a whole subject in and of itself. Right then, I'm going to finish up today. Thank you so much, by the way, everybody, for being with me for so long. Thank you so much to Anita. Like, you are absolutely amazing, Span. Make sure it's something worth buying that takes you over, not just crap I don't need. Exactly. Oops. There we go. That is my Catrice Lippy on. 21st, so Friday's 22nd, 30th to 24th. Hang on, my brain's not working. Friday's 22nd, Saturday's the 23rd, Monday's the 24th, so Tuesday to Wednesday, isn't it? Renata, same here. Tuesday to Wednesday is the day when the lip drop happens, the latest in beauty box. I haven't made my pick yet because there's nothing I want. Also, just to say, we were talking about products being like dumped into sub boxes. I believe personally, allegedly, my own opinion, that that's why we're getting Primark makeup in latest in beauty. It's because Primark's been shut for 9 months. All of those products are sat on shelves, not earning any money. That's why we're getting them in lid boxes. The same reason we've got all the skincare in 2020. But anyway, we shall see. Interesting to see what's happening in the drop. But we'll talk about that, no doubt, on Sunday or tomorrow evening over on Kirsty's. Thank you so much to everybody for joining me. I know I just had to sit and work that out, Robin. I literally, my brain, I have been live for 3 hours plus now, and so my brain is hurting. My poor fibro brain. And do you know what? I would say I've only done it on 1 coffee, but I've still got about that much coffee in the bottom. So I've not even had a full cup of coffee this morning. Monday night, midnight. I don't know. I tell you what, we'll have a look on. It might be Monday night, midnight. Right, okay. We'll have a look Monday to Tuesday then, isn't it? 25th to 26th. Yes. Midnight Monday. Yes, everybody. Midnight Monday is for the latest in beauty, not Tuesday into Wednesday. It's Monday into Tuesday. Yes, that's when it is. Midnight Monday into Tuesday. So yeah, that is it though, by the way. I think I missed Sunday when I did it. Oh, I don't know. I would have looked online, but my poorly brain is hurting. But anyway, ever so much for watching, everybody. This has been a mega long live stream. I hope you've actually enjoyed it. I really enjoyed chatting today. I will see some of you tomorrow evening over on Making It Up, which is Kirsty's channel. That's MAKE-ING it up. For Kirsty's Friday Night Natter, 8 p.m. UK time. And then I'm back over on Authentic Beauty for 8 p.m. on Sunday evening for a self-care Sunday. So there, we take off whatever makeup we've been wearing during the day, and then it ends up with me wearing some kind of weird or wonderful sheet mask. So yeah, we will see you over there for that. Thanks ever so much for watching, everybody. Please don't forget, if you're watching this on catch up, hit the thumbs up. That really helps me out with YouTube's algorithm. If you haven't already, please do subscribe, hit the bell icon, and then change your notification settings to all, so YouTube lets you know each and every time I upload a video. I've got a recipe coming up tomorrow on this channel, and I've got an empties video coming up on Saturday on Authentic Beauty, and later on Authentic Beauty today will be my last ever glossy box video on, well, my last ever glossy box video, yeah, on that channel. So do have a look out for that as well. But that is it from me. My God, you lot have been so amazing in the chat today. You've been so lovely. I've really, really enjoyed it. Thank you so much, everyone. Hopefully this hasn't been too boring. I actually think my face has turned out quite nice today. I quite like it. Let me know what you think. Anyway, I will see you all very soon. Take care, everyone. Have a fantastic day, whatever you're doing. Oh, and don't forget, as we always say on this channel, happy slimming. And I'll see you all very soon. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye. Thanks, Nate.